benefit from their corporate status without having to shoulder fundamental responsibilities. Zencash is the world's first private, distributed, and reliable platform for communications, transactions, and publishing. Zencash has the ability to use both transparent and shielded transactions, with shielded transactions using zero-knowledge proofs. Zencash features global governance with inclusive decision-making, reliable funding for continuous improvements, and documentation and wallets in many languages that are available for Linux, Mac, Windows, and Android devices. Learn more at zensystem.io. That's zensystem.io. Reuters reports monkeys lack standing to sue for copyright protection, and an animal rights group cannot act as legal guardians in such a matter, according to a U.S. appeals court ruling on Monday in a battle over ownership of a smiling selfie taken by an endangered macaw. The dispute stemmed from a famous image that Naruto, a rare crested macaw who lives in a nature reserve, snapped using a camera that British photographer David Slater left mounted and unattended during a 2011 trip. His grinning visage, which Slater published in a wildlife book, went viral and triggered the long-running legal battle over who had the copyright. The judges of the U.S. Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals based in San Francisco said the panel held that the monkey lacks statutory standing because the Copyright Act does not expressly authorize animals to file copyright infringement suits. The court's opinion added that PETA was not a next friend of the monkey in a legal sense and failed to establish that it had a significant relationship with him. Jeff Kerr, general counsel for PETA, said in a statement, denying Naruto the right to sue under U.S. Copyright Act emphasizes that he is discriminated against simply because he's a non-human animal. PETA had argued that the monkey was the legal owner of all the photos he took, but a federal judge in San Francisco ruled in January 2016 that copyright laws do not apply to animals. Slater announced that he would donate 25% of future revenues from the photograph to charitable groups that protect Naruto and other members of his species in Indonesia. The case was brought in a U.S. court because Slater's book was available for sale in the United States. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.
It's the Onion Radio News. Teen sex is linked to alcohol and drugs by the Center for Figuring Out Really Obvious Things. This is Doyle Redland reporting. An exhaustive 4-year, $23 million study of substance abuse and sexual habits of more than 2,500 American teens has confirmed that young people between the ages of 13 and 18 who drink and or use drugs are more likely to be sexually active. Dr. Gerald Eckersley is director of the Boston-based organization.
We found that this phenomenon also occurs among adults as well as every population everywhere in the world that has ever existed since the dawn of time.
The center has sent a teleprompter-ready press release of its findings to more than 400 local TV news affiliates across the U.S., along with stock video footage of beer displays and teens smoking and drinking at parties. Doyle Redland for the Onion Radio News, online at theonion.com.
This is the Onion News Network.
The Call to Freedom is an opinion show. It's meant for informational purposes only. It is not licensed financial advice. It is very important to do your own analysis before making any investment based on your own personal circumstances. You should take independent financial advice from a professional in connection with or independently research and verify any information that you hear from the Call of Freedom and wish to rely upon, whether for the purpose of making an investment decision or otherwise. I mean, come on, guys. Duh. It's a cryptocurrency investment and a political talk radio. Of course, it's opinions.
Computers are online. I'm going to start loading software.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to the Call to Freedom.
Broadcasting live from Vertcoin Studios on LRN FM.
You're listening to Will.
You will listen to every damn word I have to say.
And Aria.
Be afraid. Be very afraid.
Stay tuned for political talk and everything crypto. That's right.
Broadcasting internationally on our BitPlus network satellite.
This is
the Call to Freedom.
All right, let's boot it up.
That's right. Welcome here to the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. We are loading up for our live Thursday night, afternoon broadcast here from the Vertcoin studio in beautiful Keene, New Hampshire. It's another beautiful day. I think I'm joined by my normal crew. No, I'm not missing Chelsea.
Aria might be a few minutes late.
Yeah, Aria's about 15 to 20 minutes late.
But I'm here.
Tom's here.
Yes.
That's right. So we got Tom, and we've also got Chelsea Snyder from the Vora Method with us tonight. And, you know what, Tom? You've missed a lot of fun this week. I always do.
Yeah, you did.
You did. You've missed a lot of fun this week.
Giggity.
But you know what? It's been one of those weeks. The jokes really have just written themselves all week this week. And we're going to have a lot more of that going on. There were some testimonies today. We're going to get into that, of course. And
one not.
Right. We're definitely going to get into that.
And one the fifth.
Yep. And then and we have exclusive audio of that testimony. We also, it turns out Litecoin is trying to buy a bank. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, oddly enough. We're going to be covering that as well.
A brick and mortar bank?
Yeah, an actual bank, yes. Litecoin is trying to buy an actual bank.
With people in it, or an empty bank, one that's been abandoned, one of those that didn't get the bailout money and they just kind of left the building behind, and you know, skateboarders have been using it for raves, but the vault's still there.
Right. Now we're also going to be covering Aria got zucked earlier this week, and we actually have an update.
Good for her.
But
why are we gonna? That seems really private thing to talk about on the air. Oh, Zuck.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, dude.
So we're going to be giving you an update on that. Actually, there's an article that came out today because we were kind of wondering yesterday out loud on the air, she followed all the rules, so how come she got blocked? And well, oddly enough, I guess they were listening because there's a story that came out from the Daily Caller basically about the exact thing we were talking about. So we're going to get into that too. You've got a Michigan governor candidate using played out stereotypes to attack Muslim governor's candidate that he's running against in Michigan. The accusations from the right, the California LGBT community is trying to outlaw the Bible. I mean, we got lots of just insane stuff lined up to talk about today. But the first thing that I want to do, just to start this off, now everybody's been talking about it. Donald Trump, right? His lawyer was subpoenaed, and Cohen was subpoenaed by. Now, is this a federal grand jury or is this an actual?
No, this is out in California, where Stormy Daniels is trying to invalidate the non-disclosure agreement that she has concerning her sexcapades with Donald Trump, so she can talk about it publicly.
Okay. But see, Trump said it never happened.
He's been subpoenaed on that.
Well, he did earlier today change his tune on that, but only after this amazing testimony, you see. And we, as far as I know, we're the first media outlet that you're going to be able to hear it's James Comey, right?
No, it's Michael Cohen.
Cohen.
James Comey was the former FBI director. Michael Cohen is
Comey
one of
didn't
Trump's
plead
lawyers.
The Fifth. That's why they hate Comey, right?
Not yet.
Not
yet, anyway.
We might actually end up with some audio of his testimony as well. You never know. So, but before we get any further, this is Michael Cohen, the Michael Cohen testimony today. Before before Congress?
No, before a state court out in California.
Okay.
I plead the Fifth. I said there are so many amendments in the Constitution of the United States of America. I can only choose one. I plead the Fifth. I plead the Fifth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Anything you say, 5. Go ahead, ask me a question. Did you? 5. I have a secret document that I think you need to say.
That is spectacular.
It was. It's the best testimony all day. Winning. That's what that is. Winning.
MAGA.
He does, man.
Actually, it's MAFA. Make America fifth again.
That's awesome.
Let me tell you, though.
Cohen, he gives the best testimonies. He pleads the fifth. He does the best pleading of the fifth I've ever seen. It's winning. It's amazing.
I got to tell you, though, our friends from the Audacious Caucus have been complaining a lot about snitches this week. Y'all wouldn't have to worry about snitches if you just plead the fifth. I'm just telling you. Fifth! There are so many amendments to the Constitution.
But
you got to plead that one.
My favorite one.
I plead the fifth.
You can't plead the third. You can't plead the eighth. But you can plead the fifth.
Mr. Comey, did she have sexual relations with that woman?
I plead the fifth.
Mr. Cohen, Mr. Cohen, did you work for Donald Trump at any point in his life?
I plead the fifth.
Mr. Cohen, did you violate the basic canons of attorney ethics by settling a case with Stormy Daniels without Donald Trump's knowledge and then trying to pawn it off on him?
I plead the fifth.
See, it's just so easy.
That's the new easy button.
It is. Muffin button. So, Tom, give us a little bit of background here since you seem to know what's going on.
All right.
I'm just making fun.
There's so much going on in that case. So Stormy Daniels
give us the 1-minute version.
All right. Stormy Daniels sued Donald Trump because she wants out from under this non-disclosure agreement because she wants to tell the story of her sexcapades with Donald Trump.
Because she could get rich.
Michael Cohen was the attorney who negotiated that NDA and that settlement, so he has been subpoenaed in that case. At the same time, Michael Cohen's offices were just raided by the FBI, and his records were seized as part of the investigation into Russian interference / everything else they've uncovered. And he is claiming that if he is forced to testify in court in the Stormy Daniels trial, that it might violate his Fifth Amendment right not to have to testify in court to incriminate himself. Because you see, even if it's a separate case, if a court makes you testify in a civil matter, and your testimony could be used against you in a criminal matter, that's a violation of your Fifth Amendment right. Fun fact for the day. So he's saying, if Stormy Daniels gets to put me on the stand, then the feds are going to know something by the time I'm done talking.
I have not really ever understood how that's not just a direct admission of guilt. I don't know.
Well, the jury can't take take it that way, but we sure can.
Right. Yeah. All right. Well, when we get back here, we've got a whole lot more of today's craziest news on the Call to Freedom on LRN.
Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you are helping the state. You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at Bitcoin.com. That's Bitcoin.com.
If you're looking for work, the person you are applying to may be even more nervous than you are. And the way things are now, your references have never been more important. Here are 3 tips. First, know that employers are checking. Every hire is under the microscope these days. Second, they won't just be checking references you provide. Figure that all of your ex-employers will get a call and be asked, would you hire him or her again? Third, assume you will be Googled. So before you apply, remove all those party animal photos from your Facebook page. Even if you're not in the job market, effective communication skills have never been more important, with money and attention so scarce now. For more tips for job seekers and getting better results in all your day-to-day communication, hit survivalspeech.com. I'm Holland Cook.
LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
In Survivor Max 2, School Bites, Max must scavenge through a wasteland swarming with the undead. Desperate to find the medicine he needs, he discovers a community of survivors at his former school. Has he finally found the safe haven he's been looking for, or will he discover that school bites? Look for Survivor Max on Facebook, read reviews on Amazon, and read Chapter 1 at survivormax.com.
Did you know you can get news updates about what's happening with the Liberty Radio Network delivered in the way you prefer? You can sign up for our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. Plus, you can stay in the loop by joining our Facebook profile at facebook.lrn.fm or follow us at Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm. It's all free, so sign up now at updates.lrn.fm for news updates delivered to your email box, facebook.lrn.fm to follow our Facebook page, and twitter.lrn.fm to receive our tweets.
Catch the Call to Freedom at its new time, weekdays from 4 to 7 p.m. The Call to Freedom is the only live drive-home call-in show in the U.S. with a segment devoted to cryptocurrencies. Crypto Hour, brought to you by Helium.com, live from Vertcoin Studios in New Hampshire. Learn about what makes cryptocurrencies so great and why you should care about them. Updates on new coins and ICOs, and warnings of scams. Plus, hear from traders, whales, developers, and big names in the crypto world. You can also win crypto coins or tokens every episode. Just listen for the faucet sound and be the 5th caller to get free Dash, Litecoin, Vertcoin, Verge, or other cryptocurrencies. The Call to Freedom with Will and Aria, featuring Crypto Hour. Broadcast internationally through our BitPlus network satellite. Weekdays from 4 to 7 p.m. on LRN FM.
You can put the Liberty Radio Network on the air in your area. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how. Broadcast.lrn.fm.
You are listening to the Call to Freedom on LRN.fm. आप सुन रहे हैं स्वतंत्रता की पुकार सिर्फ और सिर्फ LRN.fm पे।
Is a burning thing, and it makes a fiery ring, bound by wild desire. I fell into a ring of fire, 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 fire.
Welcome back into the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. We are broadcasting live from the Vertcoin studio right here in beautiful Keene, New Hampshire, and wonderful, awesome, amazing announcement right now. If you are listening to us in sub-Saharan Africa or anywhere across Central America, you are listening to us coming live via our Zencash Network satellite.
Woohoo! They signed on the dotted line.
They asked for me to send the updated contracts with new dates that they have approved, and the contracts should be signed, and we will begin our official Zencash promotional relationship on Monday. Inshallah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's pretty good news. Very happy to hear that, which is good because we bought shirts and spent $900 on PorkFest already. You know, we already bought all the stuff. So
we hope you're with us.
Yeah, we're glad that you guys decided to continue forward and actually sign on the dotted line. Now, as you can hear, I've got Chelsea Snyder from the Vora Method and Mr. Tom Gray, our legal beagle, Still no Aria, though, but she'll be in here probably by the end of the first hour.
Hey, speaking of legal stuff, and I know we're going to talk about Arya getting the Zuck hammer, which is a slightly less important legal story than what happened to Bill Cosby.
Oh, yeah.
What happened to Bill Cosby?
Guilty.
Found guilty. 3 counts of sexual assault.
Called the prosecutor an a-hole in court.
Wow. Oh, I didn't see that part.
Wow.
That's great.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
And now this isn't for anything that happened while he was on the Cosby Show, which is kind of the way that it was made to appear. This is actually from an incident that was supposed to have happened in 2004.
Mm-hmm. And he was being retried.
Yes. For an incident 14 years ago.
3 counts of sexual assault.
3 different people, I assume?
No, one lady at the Tempe University, right?
Yep, and he, a former female basketball player, and he had, well, we can't say allegedly anymore. He's been found guilty of drugging her and raping her.
Mm-hmm.
3 times?
Uh-huh. And apparently,
Jeez.
each count of sexual assault carries up to 10 years in prison.
Oh, yeah, that's the big thing life. Is Bill Cosby is probably, he's 80 years old, you know. I mean, he's not much.
Yeah, right.
He's my dad's age.
And the specific reason that he called the prosecutor an a-hole was because they moved to deny bond.
Yes.
Which
the judge didn't go for.
Well, I don't know how you're entitled to bond when you've just been found
when you've been
guilty,
found guilty,
but
yeah, that's not. Doesn't
like,
make any sense.
That's not. Well, I guess pending sentencing.
Yeah, yeah.
Is
I've been found guilty before of a moderate cannabis charge, and they gave me 3 weeks, and I was sentenced and everything, and they were like, "We'll give you 3 weeks."
That's common though with misdemeanors because there's just not enough room in the county jail where they're just like, yeah, we'll call you when we got room.
Well, no, this was something I asked for. I was like, look, you know, I have a house, child support.
Yeah, they'll do that.
It would be stupid if I went to jail for a month and then I get out of jail and now my child support and I'm back in court and then back in jail. You know, like, can I get paid ahead? This kind of thing. And she was just like, you know what? You have your own place. You pay for everything for yourself. I'll let you not be homeless when you get out of jail. You got 3 weeks.
Whereas, like, I think the only guy that Cosby's got as a dependent right now is Mushmouth.
In truth, it wasn't pretty cool because
no laughs for the Mushmouth.
I was convicted.
I don't know what Mushmouth is.
Yeah, she's too
it's
young.
On Bill Cosby and the Cosby Kids.
I am probably too young.
Only me and you are old enough to get that joke, Tom, and I'm even kind of young to get for that joke.
Well, there's a reason the only one of the Cosby kids that I could think of was Mushmouth. I mean, right. I don't know who any of the rest of them are.
Well, you better be careful, or you just might trigger somebody at the University of Utah. So be careful. You know, Mushmouth could be construed as some type of an epithet. So just be careful.
That whole show was a big racist whatever when you really look back at it.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean,
it was one gigantic racial stereotype.
I wonder, because of his status, if they're going to give him solitary for fear that somebody might come and try to, get his pudding.
Yeah, right. Well, I have my own theories about why this case was even allowed to move forward.
Such a, I'm making faces. You just can't see my faces, Tom.
Right. Anyway, Tom.
Okay. It's like every Thursday now. This is just what it is.
I need some time in a cry closet.
Guys, I can't come in on Thursdays anymore.
Can't be any worse than Tuesday was this week.
Yeah, no, it's not worse than Bukkake. So realistically, it's
you guys did that again?
No. Tuesday, okay. The pictures that you got that you were like, oh my God, guys, I'm at ballet with my.
Oh yeah, what the crap?
Okay, so basically what happened was, is Aria
Aria's
here
yet?
By
the way, she just
Aria,
came in.
Awesome, perfect. Then we'll just start on that then. Aria was, Facebook put out a book, and it's Facebook censorship guidelines, and it started as one page. But now it's a 27-page book. So on Tuesday, we were talking about the story, and Aria decided to do some Facebook posts that followed the letter of the rule book as literally as possible. And that means stuff like nipples are okay as long as it's encouraging breast cancer awareness.
Wait, does it really say that?
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah.
What about breastfeeding? Did that make it in, or
It
is
did
that
make it in.
It did.
Breastfeeding.
okay?
Really?
Well, that's something.
And for medical, to raise medical awareness. So
For
you know,
the
like
tatas.
prostate health.
Wait. But
You
we're
can
not
see where that's
putting-
going.
No.
It
Okay,
wasn't
nobody wants
just
to see
you.
that.
Yeah. My wife is at my in-laws' house right now.
I know. Your wife was like, "Why am I in this?"
So, like, could you post a pic of the goatsy guy and say that it's prostate awareness?
Right. All right. We'll be back with why she was zucked in just a moment.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
I love My Magic Mud. I drink a lot of coffee. I had stains on my teeth. Then I found My Magic Mud, and I was told it would remove stains. So I paid attention when I brushed the first time. My Magic Mud is black tooth powder, and the difference it made in my teeth in one application was noticeable. With 4, my teeth were as white as you normal folks out there. Please go to mymagicmud.com and buy a jar. There's 150 applications for $25. You can use Bitcoin, mymagicmud.com.
I've been told no in many different ways.
I give you an order and you're going to obey it.
George, you can go this way.
You can't do that and you have to leave here.
You cannot bring signs into the rally.
Walk with me. Well, I'm comfortable here, actually. Whoa. Hey. Who do you think you are? Excuse me.
There is no video and audio allowed in this office.
No, I have work today. This is...
You ain't gonna make it.
Wait a minute.
Whoa.
Hey! Oh my God! Unbelievable!
Why are you running from me?
Because you scared me. What am I being detained for?
You're being served.
What is this?
You're being served.
What is this? Bureaucrats have a funny way of telling people no.
That's the sound of the men working on the chain.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com.
Imagine someone in your community getting in their car, turning on the radio, and hearing the Liberty Radio Network. You can make that vision a reality with your own micro radio station. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how you can put our programs on the air in your area. You can have LRN.FM running around the clock, and you can even add in your own local shows. Building a radio station is simple, but programming isn't. That's where LRN.FM comes in. Learn more at broadcast.lrn.fm. That's broadcast.lrn.fm.
Free Press Publications is an independent, alternative media and publishing company founded in June 2009 with the mission of ensuring a free press for the freedom movement and is committed to spreading the message of peace, freedom, love, and liberty. FPP also gives new authors an avenue for publishing freedom-oriented material. FPP brings you daily news and commentary on the website, fpp.cc, as well as a daily 5-minute newscast, FPP Radio News, and weekly news, views, and commentary in the FPP Freedom Minute and Peace, Love, Liberty Radio at fppradio.com, and the monthly newspaper, FPP News, at news.fpp.cc. Find FPP online at fpp.cc. That's fpp.cc, as in Creative Commons.
Help get LRN.FM into more ears. Visit promote.lrn.fm for a free bumper sticker, flyers, banners, graphics, and more. Promote.lrn.fm.
You are listening to the Call to Freedom on LRN.fm. Unasikiliza wito wa uhuru katika LRN.fm.
Welcome back here to the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. We're broadcasting live from the Vertcoin studios right here in beautiful Keene, New Hampshire. And
hey, Will, before we get too deep into anything else, I just have to point out that Donald Trump has already hung Michael Cohen out to dry.
Yeah, he's
completely unintentionally in a way that you wouldn't expect. So, you know, I mentioned earlier that Cohen's files were seized from his office, and Cohen's been like, no, you got to give me those files back because they contain, like, privileged stuff. And then Trump, he did an interview on Fox and Friends, and he was trying to cover his own butt, and he actually said that Cohen performs, quote, a tiny, tiny little fraction of his overall legal work. 2 hours later, the United States Attorney for the Southern District of New York sent a letter to the federal judge quoting him and saying, well, Trump says there's not much privileged material in here, so you should let us look at it.
Oh, crap.
Which just goes to show you, if you're... This is why when you're a lawyer, you try to get paid as much as you can up front, because there's nothing but grief on the back end of that check. It doesn't matter who it is, but when it's a guy who's gone through a bazillion lawyers in his lifetime, you just, you know, I don't feel the least bit bad for Michael Cohen. I'm sure that every house that he owns and half the suits he owns are paid for by Donald Trump checks.
Nobody feels bad for Hitler's doctor or his attorney.
Right.
I'm like, who was Hitler's attorney?
Exactly. Nobody
I'm going to
cares.
have to research that. Anyway, well, I feel bad for Hitler's doctor because he had to examine, you know,
his prostate.
Which we were talking about during the break, how that's
something about the skeet gland or something.
Skeen.
And we're off the air in Texas. Anyway, so we were going to get into what happened to Aria on the Book of Faces.
Aria posted a very, I didn't see anything wrong with it. It was a Save the Tatas post, and it was a picture of some particularly nice tatas, and
particularly nice.
They were very nice tatas.
They were. I just like the phrasing. It's good.
They were black. They were very well maintained. You know.
Wait a minute.
Oh no. Will, I didn't even get that one up.
Oh, you didn't get that one posted before you got knocked down? Oh,
that's just in y'all's. That's just in the private group chat.
Then she also did a post about colon cancer awareness.
Well, the first one that went up was the lesbians, and the second one was the colon cancer awareness.
Always is.
Yes.
And the third one was the black chick, but it never got posted because I had gotten their attention and they were going through my old posts.
And you were done.
And they were not pleased with some of the things they had seen.
You got
really?
It is impressive though how fast that stuff works.
Here's why. All right. This just came out today. about 10:46 this morning. I thought it was kind of funny that it happened to just come out like this. Title, Zuckerberg. Well, it's easier to detect a nipple than it is to spot hate speech. Facebook's founder.
Did he really
That's
say
true
that?
in the real world, too.
Oh, for Pete's sake.
Right. Facebook's founder, Mark Zuckerberg, said Wednesday that identifying hate speech on the platform through artificial intelligence is a way more difficult task than doing the same for a nipple.
It's literally not.
The tech's executives...
Tom, how would you know?
Candid comments.
All you have... Because it's text recognition, Arya.
Yeah, but then
it's
you end up with...
literally not.
Yeah, but
then you end up with
Tom,
people like me.
Can you fathom the idea of trying to recognize the tone and the intent and the message of text?
Yeah,
there's no tone in which you correctly use the N-word.
Yes, there is.
For instance,
there is.
Or which
yeah, but I would say, but that the
if
use of the
somebody
N-word
sends
still
me a
is
private
a
message,
smaller percentage.
Okay, well they shouldn't be
calling my
censoring
wife
PMs.
a
But that's a
sand, and then I put a picture of it up, and we mock the person and hold them up for social ostracization. And then I get my post taken down because I'm a white guy who posted a picture with the word sand N-word in it. Because I'm saying, look what somebody just sent me trying to slander my wife. Look at this idiot. Why don't we go and troll the hell out of their page? You know, like let's when I'm defending my family, I get shut down for 30 days. So yes, it is difficult to be able to do that because you don't know the tone. Somebody could just be saying, "Hey man, this idiot here called me a..." You know, and
okay, but we're talking about in degrees of ease. It's much easier to when you review that post to see what was going on than it is to discern why.
That's not true at all,
apart
Tom.
From a face.
I mean, I'm trans and used the word fag. It was in no sense hate speech what I said. And yet it still got flagged and pulled by their censors anyway.
And got you banned.
Which just reinforces the point that, you know,
you guys aren't listening
identifying
to the other
hate
half.
speech.
The other half of it is it's not nearly as easy to program AI to recognize a nipple as it is to even just catch all of those things and review them. Like programming...
Like, image recognition is one of the first things that, you know, Google
stinks.
developed as an awesome new feature.
It stinks. It can't tell Asian people apart from one another. How's it going to tell nipples?
Maybe,
you know?
but, you know, it has an easier time doing that
maybe,
than it
but
does
how's it going to tell nipples apart from butts if it can't tell Asian people apart?
What, are you serious? There's like coloration differences.
It's easier to
Also,
build an AI system.
There is a wide variety of both.
According to Zuckerberg, his exact quote, "It's easier to build an AI system that detects a nipple than what is hate speech." So he's acknowledging that these words can be used in different contexts, and you can't build an AI that can know what the context is. All you can do is build an AI that looks for words and blocks everyone who uses certain words regardless of context. And the appeals process for Facebook, I mean, unless you want to start paying for Facebook, the appeals process for Facebook is non-existent. Like, I literally showed them, like, you shut this girl's account down 2 years ago for this message that was sent to me. Now you're shutting my account down because 2 years ago when that happened, I posted a picture of it and someone's decided, and now you've decided it's offensive because they started that new algorithm, and like for a while there, everybody was getting their Facebook page, and it was for old posts from like years ago. And I said Facebook didn't care. I was still blocked for 30 days. It didn't matter. And that's the problem when you just look for words. Is Facebook doesn't care enough about whether or not your context was that you were saying one thing or you were saying something else. Facebook
no, because they have
care.
your information that they can sell already, whether you're on Facebook or not.
So I would say it probably what it might have to do with, Tom, is like the level of accuracy. Because like maybe it's difficult to build the original system, but once the system's in place, then like the level of accuracy of like locating nipples in pictures might be higher than the level of accuracy of like detecting hate speech because of all that nuance, you know?
Exactly.
That would be my guess.
Anyway, when we get back here, we're going to continue on. The article here actually gets into the impartiality of individual censors working for Facebook and how that may be playing a role in what is and is not being pulled down. If you want to weigh in, give us a call, 603-283-6160. We'll be back in just a moment here on The Call to Freedom on LRN.FM.
Ross Ulbricht was convicted in early 2015 of running the infamous Silk Road Underground Market. The Silk Road was a gift to humanity and helped reduce the harms brought on by drug prohibition. For this good deed, Ross has been sentenced to life in prison with no possibility of parole. Now, an appeal is Ross's only chance, and he needs your support. Please visit freeross.org, where you can contribute via various methods, including Bitcoin. Visit freeross.org. That's freeross.org. On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you amp Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com.
The three most important things you can do for LRN.FM are: 1. Let your friends know you're listening to LRN.FM on your social networking profile. 2. Buy the things you buy online through shop.LRN.FM. 3. Give $5 a month to the AMP program at amp.LRN.FM. It's my firm belief that the AMP program is the best use of your charitable dollar among liberty-oriented groups. Support all your favorite organizations, but make sure you give $5 a month to the AMP program at amp.LRN.FM.
So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com. Did you know we've taken our LRN.FM telephone listen line to a new level with the LRN.FM audio on demand line? Now you can call 712-770-8447 anytime and listen to LRN.FM's live feed. And you can listen to a bunch of our original shows on demand. Long distance fees may apply. Just dial 712-770-8447 and choose from the menu. 712-770-8447. The Free State Project has reached its goal of 20,000 liberty lovers who've pledged to move to New Hampshire and get active to achieve liberty in our lifetime. Perhaps you're trying to figure out what part of New Hampshire should be your destination. If so, consider Keene. You'll find more than 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com. Keene is famous for its historic, publicity-generating activism, as well as being the liberty media capital of the world. It's home to freekeene.com, New Hampshire's destination for liberty activism, news, and opinion. For years, we've been compiling over 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com, where you'll learn about some of what's happening here and what makes Keene a great place to live. If you love liberty, you'll probably enjoy anywhere you end up in the Shire. But do your due diligence first. Please visit move.freekeene.com for the full list of over 150 reasons to move to Keene. That's move.freekeene.com.
Some of our live shows are streamed in HD on Twitch. Please follow and share at twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
You are listening to The Call to Freedom live on LRN.FM.
تستمعون إلى نداء للحرية مباشرة على LRN.FM.
Back here to the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. You know what? I'm wondering, are you new to the crypto game? Are you wanting to get bought in? Are you looking to get invested, but you don't want to spend your days and your nights reading candle graphs and looking at coin market cap and just constantly white papers, the whole thing? You just don't have time for it. Well, let me suggest you check out Helium.com. Now, it's a savings accelerator that's powered by Uphold.com. And basically what they've done is they've developed an algorithm that watches the values between regular cryptos, between cryptos and regular fiats, rather. And then it moves your money when the timing is just right. See, Helium, it lets your money move you. You just load it up with a bank card or a cryptocurrency wallet of your own and just set it and forget it. It's completely automatic. So go on over to helium.com/CTF. Again, that's helium with an E, HELE.com/CTF. And get a special deal for being a Call to Freedom listener. So there we go, Tom. And
yeah, I'm here.
I just saw you over there chit-chatting. Now, we've been talking about why is it that Aria got zucked. You see, Aria followed the rules to the letter of the new 27-page censorship guideline. It says...
Well, I think it's pretty obvious why I got zucked.
Well, this is just as it is tough for
You're so very
humans to
zuckable.
impartially monitor. God, Jesus Christ!
Stop, Tom. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Only I'm allowed to tell jokes like that, and not while I'm reading.
So what were the rules, Aria, that you were trying to toe the line on? Like, what did they say?
That it had,
I've got those
they
rules
made
right
exceptions when it promoted breast cancer awareness.
Well, no, this
or when it was
says
educational.
Well, this says right here.
But what are the things that are banned?
Even drawing the line for
Everything
nipples isn't easy. Quote, we restrict the display of nudity or sexual activity because some people in our community may be sensitive to this type of content. Our nudity policies have become more nuanced over time. For example, we restrict some images of female breasts that include the nipple, and we allow other images, including those depicting women in acts of protest, actively engaged in breastfeeding, and photos of post. See, they didn't say post-mastectomy scars in the book. In the book, it said posts meant to promote breast cancer awareness.
Ah, interesting.
So Aria was promoting breast cancer awareness. She took a picture of some really nice boobies, and she put a Susan G. Komen breast cancer awareness ribbon on them, and now it's a breast cancer awareness.
So now you just have to try that again in October and see if it works, because, maybe they'll let it go then.
If I haven't been perma-banned by then.
Seriously.
As calls to do more by portions of the population increase over the years, Facebook is constantly
Who are these people crying for censorship?
Lots of them.
Oh,
I know, but what is wrong with them?
Inappropriate censorship, including those of content in some way displaying a female body part. The company on separate occasions in recent years rejected images of a woman's bare back, blocked an instructional breast examination video that shows animated boobs, and restricted a photographer's social media capabilities who records mothers giving birth.
Wow. Why? Okay, wasn't there's like a thing sometimes where the video is sort of grayed out and it says, this might not be on Facebook, it might be somewhere else.
It is on Facebook and it is on Twitter
where
as well.
It says this might have whatever kind of like, inappropriate or like, I don't know, content that might offend you or might
disturbing.
upset you.
I mean, it's just like TV.
Right. So and then you have to click on it in order to see it. So why can't they just do that with all these things? Especially
because the existence of these things bothers these sensitive little snowflakes who can't get upset or bothered or impacted negatively by anything that they don't want to impact them.
Which, funny enough, actually leads us into the story that we were going to be covering before you came in, Aria. This from the University of Utah.
Yeah, it's a pretty fast tweet, too.
Designated crying closets.
No, just one. Just one.
One. Well,
for the whole campus.
And it sounded like it was a joke, a troll from what I read.
It wasn't our project that was set up, but it's not a joke. It is
serious.
It is serious. I can read a bit of it. So it's not a cry for all. The closet comes with rules. You must knock before entering. There is only one person allowed in the closet at a time, and you can cry for only 10 minutes. At least in the closet.
That's what I was about to say. So if your 10 minutes runs out, tough. Is that the
Turn
deal?
lights and timer off before leaving, and use hashtag #CryClosetUOFU if posting on social media.
This is.
I think I like the FU part.
So but it's automatically, there's a timer on it, so it's automatically discriminatory against long criers.
Oh, great.
Oh, yep.
Well, Twitter has reacted, mostly as students. Some of them were excited, but others of them
excited.
Were excited.
Some of them were excited. Well, they like seemed into the idea. That's what it says, quote unquote. They seemed into it. But other students,
soon to be a makeout chamber.
Right, soon to be a makeout chamber or F box or hot box, right?
Yeah.
So that's
Dude,
what we're
if
getting.
you're in college and you haven't already identified a makeout chamber before somebody builds one for an art class, then you don't even need a makeout chamber. You're not making out with anyone.
Looks like
if you haven't done that like during your first month on campus, I mean, I did that, and it was, I didn't even use it, but I knew where one was. I didn't wait for somebody to build a cry closet stall, Oh, we got a phone call coming in?
Oh, well.
Oh, that would have been fun.
No.
Okay.
Well, I thought we had a caller, but they were gone by the time they got into the air.
Tom was just telling us about his inappropriate forays in college.
Now, hold on a minute. There is nothing inappropriate about some good old-fashioned necking when you're out of courting.
Well, the way you describe it, like
I saw Liberty Jesus's comment, and I knew my headphones were off, and you were like, Tom's just telling us about, and I thought he was talking about like cross-dressing when he was in high school.
Oh my gosh, no.
Somebody just
But
tried
the way
to
you describe it, I mean, finding a makeout chamber sounds like it's something other than like a room.
Were you
I mean,
in
like
a
room would make sense, but like, what were you finding, Tom?
Yeah,
'Cause it sounds like you were
chamber
finding
is-
closets.
Don't even ask that, Will. We know Chelsea was in a sorority.
No. I was not in a sorority, actually. I would never pledge a sorority. That's just not, I'm not into stupid rules and doing what other people tell me to do.
Just another prank caller. We're on Twitch. That's what that.
I just had one of those at the house. Sorry about that.
Well, no, that's the importance of the fact that we were accidentally in a video game broadcast room instead of the normal broadcast talk show room. Is now we have like 8-year-olds calling the show.
Oh my gosh! Stop.
Well, we interrupted their Minecraft.
Right.
Well,
right.
no, we've had we had an 8-year-old call the show once and win some crypto, as I recall.
did.
But,
Yeah,
but
these
I'm
are
pretty
ones
sure
that they don't.
I haven't
realize
seen
that, like,
his.
This is actual radio, and we're not just like some jack-offs on Twitch. And that's why we don't use F-bombs and stuff like that. Like it's an FCC kind of thing.
Well, we're not supposed to. Sometimes.
Yeah. Well, that's
I didn't know we were broadcasting
why,
to 8-year-olds, guys.
That's why I have.
We're
this
on
box
AM/FM.
right here.
If there's 8-year-olds in the car, they're hearing this.
Yeah.
Not for long, but I
Yeah,
hope assuming their parents are responsible.
Yeah, we have a dump box, so I mean, and we screen calls. So like yesterday, some jack off called and he was like, my dad was killed in 9/11. And I was like, oh, one of these idiots. He goes, he lost his legs. He was flying the plane. And I was like, awesome. You do realize that this is a real radio show and we screen calls. So have a good day. And just hung the phone up, you know?
I would have told him to had a good day. I would have been like, kid. Just kid. That's all I would have said.
All right. Well, when we get back, we're going to be talking about Litecoin is buying
Okay, Grandpa
a
Tom.
bank.
This is Michael Dean from the Freedom Fiends. I've run websites since 1996 and have used over a dozen web hosts in that time. AgristHosting.com is the only one that hasn't broken my heart. Agrist Hosting's uptime and service is stellar, and their DDoS mitigation is the best I've seen. That's important because if you tell the truth in this world, you'll ruffle feathers. And some people will try dirty tricks to silence your voice. No matter what the haters hit us with, Agrist Hosting keeps our websites online. If you have a mission-critical commercial presence or a world-changing activism site, you cannot tolerate any skullduggery. So go with AgristHosting.com. Have a WordPress or blog site, but you're not satisfied with performance or uptime? Or just want raw hosting? Want to pay with Bitcoin? Agrist Hosting specializes in high-performance hosting with personalized service. Go to AgristHosting.com and click on the button that says Get Hosted. That's AgristHosting.com.
Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get one free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm. The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism, will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount.
More of the Call to Freedom is coming up next, live after the news on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Wednesday, April 25th, 2018. Silver is trading at $16.54 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,320 per ounce. Zencash is trading at $35, and the average price of Bitcoin is $9,111. Antiwar.com reports South Korea has turned off its propaganda loudspeakers as a gesture of goodwill ahead of Friday's summit with North Korea's Kim Jong-un. This is the first time in over 2 years that South Korea has shut off the loudspeakers aimed at North Korea. South Korea's giant wall of speakers broadcast news reports boasting of their prosperity, aiming it at both North Korean border troops and villages near the border. They occasionally play music or radio dramas, though the main point is to demoralize the other side. A spokesman told reporters the move was intended to ease military tensions ahead of Friday's summit and also to set a new tone. South Korean officials would not say if the loudspeakers would remain off after the summit. The expectation, though, was that the summit will include more discussions of a peace treaty, formally ending the Korean War, which is still officially ongoing since 1950. If a peace deal happens, there would clearly be no need to broadcast such messages across the border any longer. North Korea has its own loudspeakers on the other side of the border, mostly broadcasting criticism of South Korea. North Korea has not commented on what will happen with their loudspeakers. Indeed, given how much North Korea has toned down all other rhetoric, it is unclear at this point what those speakers have even been broadcasting. For over 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals. Gold, silver, platinum, and palladium. They don't feed the banks. They're Bitcoin preferred and have removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts Brokerage today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co. UPI reports the U.S. Supreme Court ruled Tuesday that foreign corporations cannot be sued in U.S. courts for violation of international law. The 5-4 ruling is a loss for about 6,000 foreign victims of terrorist attacks in Israel and Gaza who accused Jordan-based Arab Bank of using its New York branch to distribute millions of dollars to terrorists and their families. While many victims had wanted to sue the bank in U.S. court, the Supreme Court on Tuesday disagreed with the legality of the prospect. Justice Anthony Kennedy wrote in the court's lead opinion, "Courts are not well suited to make the required policy judgments that are implicated by corporate liability in cases like this one." Justice Sonia Sotomayor, writing for the dissenting group, argued that the ruling let companies benefit from their corporate status without having to shoulder fundamental responsibilities. Zencash is the world's first private, distributed, and reliable platform for communications, transactions, and publishing. Zencash has the ability to use both transparent and shielded transactions, with shielded transactions using zero-knowledge proofs. Zencash features global governance with inclusive decision-making, reliable funding for continuous improvements, and documentation and wallets in many languages that are available for Linux, Mac, Windows, and Android devices. Learn more at zensystem.io. That's zensystem.io. Reuters reports monkeys lack standing to sue for copyright protection, and an animal rights group cannot act as legal guardians in such a matter, according to a U.S. appeals court ruling on Monday in a battle over ownership of a smiling selfie taken by an endangered macaw. The dispute stemmed from a famous image that Naruto, a rare crested macaw who lives in a nature reserve, snapped using a camera that British photographer David Slater left mounted and unattended during a 2011 trip. His grinning visage, which Slater published in a wildlife book, went viral and triggered the long-running legal battle over who had the copyright. The judges of the U.S. Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals based in San Francisco said the panel held that the monkey lacks statutory standing because the Copyright Act does not expressly authorize animals to file copyright infringement suits. The court's opinion added that PETA was not a next friend of the monkey in a legal sense and failed to establish that it had a significant relationship with him. Jeff Kerr, general counsel for PETA, said in a statement, denying Naruto the right to sue under U.S. Copyright Act emphasizes that he is discriminated against simply because he's a non-human animal. PETA had argued that the monkey was the legal owner of all the photos he took, but a federal judge in San Francisco ruled in January 2016 that copyright laws do not apply to animals. Slater announced that he would donate 25% of future revenues from the photograph to charitable groups that protect Naruto and other members of his species in Indonesia. The case was brought in a U.S. court because Slater's book was available for sale in the United States. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.
In a deal policymakers have hailed as a decisive step towards combating the rapidly escalating national debt, the United States settled 0.02% of its debt to China this week with a single autographed photograph of John Hamm. The sale of the glossy signed headshot of the acclaimed actor, which China reportedly accepted for a financial easement of approximately $150 out of America's estimated $1.3 trillion in obligations, concludes a 6-month negotiation between the two parties.
The decision was obviously not an easy one, but without question, this was the right choice for our nation's future.
And in this week's Science News, a distant planet is terrified that it might be able to someday support human life. In other news, a live cow is lowered onto the floor of the U.S. House of Representatives. The majority of an office's supplies are used to apply for different jobs, and a lapsed cult member only attends sanctum on major bloodletting holidays.
This is the Onion News Network. The Call to Freedom is an opinion show. It's meant for informational purposes only. It is not licensed financial advice. It is very important to do your own analysis before making any investment based on your own personal circumstances. You should take independent financial advice from a professional in connection with or independently research and verify any information that you hear from the Call of Freedom and wish to rely upon, whether for the purpose of making an investment decision or otherwise. I mean, come on, guys. Duh. It's a cryptocurrency investment and a political talk radio. Of course, it's opinions.
Hold. Hold. Hold.
You better hold on for dear life, because it's time for the Crypto Hour, brought to you by Helium.com. On the Call to Freedom.
That's right. It's time for the Crypto Hour right here on the Call to Freedom on LRN.FM. So we're broadcasting live from the VertCoin studio right here in beautiful Keene, New Hampshire. And, let's see here. It's time for the crypto news. That's what we do this time of day every day. This is a new story coming from financemagnets.com. Now, supposedly this is an exclusive. Charlie Lee from Litecoin is exploring bank acquisition with TokenPay. In a message to finance magnates,
Litecoin, why?
Lee confirmed the information saying, quote, "We're exploring it." A discussion that took place over Twitter between Litecoin founder Charlie Lee and TokenPay CEO Derek Capo has revealed that together the two firms are exploring a banking solution in Germany that would facilitate government education and work with regulators, crypto debit cards, and more. In an exclusive message to finance magnates, Lee confirmed that he's indeed considering this solution, saying that, quote, "We're exploring it." Earlier this month, Litecoin announced a partnership with 10x to release a Litecoin debit card. The conversation, which began on the subject of Verge's partnership with Pornhub, took an interesting turn when TokenPay CEO Derek Capo revealed that TokenPay is developing plans to purchase a bank in Germany and to use Verge as their banking solution.
Just real quick, Will, here's what kind of day it is for us. We can't even get 5 minutes into Crypto Hour without mentioning an adult website.
Right?
Is that an unusual day for us?
Right.
Not anymore, not really.
This is why cryptocurrency check failed TokenPay, and why we criticized it as soon as we heard about it.
Go on, I think.
And why the posts are still there on Facebook, calling them tools of the established financial system who want to blend the old financial system with the new one, thereby destroying all of the benefits of the new one.
Well, they don't exactly seem to be fighting that characterization here.
No, I mean, they've been pretty upfront about it. And, I mean, everything was above the board. They weren't a scam or anything like that. But ideologically, it's something that we should all oppose.
Basically,
their idea sucks.
All of this information seems to have come from a bit of a pissing contest that happened online between Charlie Lee and Derek Capo. Charlie Lee wrote on the 17th of April, and this was in relation to the Verge announcement. Who cares who donated to the Verge funding campaign? The campaign was for them adding Verge. They did it. Done. I don't care for Litecoin to be second. Just want to support more coins. Also, I didn't know TokenPay was a separate coin. Why did you donate to help Verge? Because Charlie donated to help Verge. Derek Capo responds, if TokenPay did not donate, the deal does not happen. 2, TokenPay has a partnership with Verge Currency for our banking solution. We're buying a bank in Germany.
That really makes Verge significantly less appealing.
Right? More partnerships between crypto is important. TokenPay is also benefits in helping large community, etc. Great. Thanks for helping make this happen, Lee wrote.
Yeah, I think I would actually say that the people responsible for Verge need to explain this.
Well, if you could ever get them to respond to your or my emails or messages, then maybe we could get that to happen. The two continued to discuss the topic. No problem, Capo tweeted. So when do you want to talk about a real debit card solution? We're buying 9.9% of a bank in Munich with the option to buy 90%. We have
that's a very different horse from buying the whole thing.
Right. We
have
have
an option to buy. It isn't worth anything if you don't have the actual capital to do it.
Right.
And now that people in the crypto community know what they're up to,
they may not end up with the capital to do it, or they may, because you have people like Ripple's.
Well, that's true.
Ripple's got an 83% increase in this quarter. So, Fed.gov.coin is appealing to some people. It says here, We have a whole ecosystem and plan in place. You let me know how we can work together. The battle between the old and new world is just getting started. It's supposed to say the. The key to making this all work is ecosystems, partnerships, and constant communication with regulators, Capo continued. Buying a bank in Germany gets us a seat at a regulator table, key to educating governments. As for Litecoin, we can add to our bank debit cards, gift cards, etc. Lee then offered his own assistance and the assistance of the Litecoin Foundation with an invitation to Derek Capo to direct message and have more of a detailed conversation with him. Before Lee's message to finance magnates, it was confirmed elsewhere online that Litecoin and TokenPay had entered into some sort of non-disclosure agreement.
Not a very good one, considering that one of their guys was tweeting about it.
Satoshi Lite and TokenPay NDA has been signed for potential partnership. Pretty big for Litecoin.
That's from
Thomas James of Litecoin.
At Litecoin.
Yeah.
Well, you got one of your guys who carries your... this is at LTC Ninja. So one of the guys who actually carries the water for you on Twitter is tweeting about the fact that you have an NDA. That's the worst NDA, or at least the worst enforcement of an NDA I've ever seen in my life. And let me tell you, if I am any
Don't ask me anything, because I don't have anything to tell you.
NDA is about as effective as Michael Cohen's attorney-client privilege.
Right.
And let me tell you, if I'm like counsel or on the board of any bank that was thinking about doing business with one of these guys, and I see on Twitter, check out our non-disclosure agreement on
We're
Twitter.
real now, guys. We done hit the big time.
We've got an NDA.
Hold on. I don't see what the big deal about releasing the fact that you have an NDA is.
Because
the NDA is not meant to protect the existence of the NDA. It's meant to protect the details behind it.
Actually, the NDA often is, and one of the things that's often covered by the NDA is the existence of the NDA, because that reveals there was a relationship in the first place. And one of the reasons that you have NDAs is to keep confidential the fact that you've been talking at all.
So what they do is they go online and go, hey, check it out, man. TokenPay and Litecoin, they signed an NDA today.
Exactly. Like, before, you want to have, like, a joint press release that you've talked about and negotiated everything that's going to be in it, but that comes, like, months after you exchange NDAs and exchange information. Instead, here it's like, we got us a non-disclosure agreement. Here's some disclosure about it.
The only time I've ever heard anybody else say anything about a non-disclosure agreement like this would be someone challenged them and says, well, I want to see your code, or I want to see the, like I did with one we had a guest that wanted to come on the show, and I was like, well, we're going to want to, I've got a guy, and I'd like to have him take a look at your code. And he's like, well, we have a non-disclosure agreement. And I was like, well, that's not going to bode very well for you with our listeners. If you're not going to let us look at how you do things with their money, they're probably not going to give you their money, because the people that listen to my show are a little bit smarter than that. And we'll be back to show you guys why in just a little.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up at any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
Did you know you can listen to LRN.FM via our free-to-air satellite channels? We have channels over nearly all of North America and much of Africa. All you need is an affordable receiver and a dish as small as 30 inches. There are no monthly fees. Learn more at sat.lrn.fm. Plus, if you are a broadcaster or want to be one, this is a good delivery method for our content. See our coverage maps and get details at sat.lrn.fm. That's sat.lrn.fm. sat.lrn.fm.
We've all heard about blockchain assets like Dogecoin, Ether, and Ripple. Bitcoin isn't the only player in the blockchain game any longer. And for those of us wondering how to get our hands on these digital assets, finally, there's a solution. Shapeshift.io allows you to buy and sell between your digital assets and Bitcoin instantly between your own digital wallets. I've used it with ease. Shapeshift.io. There's no account or email address needed. You send them the crypto you want to sell. They send back the crypto you want to buy. It's that easy. Shapeshift.io.
Here's a chance to do a little activism while you're cruising Facebook, Twitter, or Google+. Between the LOL cats, the recipes, the hot girls, and the inspirational sunrise memes, Free Talk Live's posts pass by your newsfeed. Like them, comment. It gives us more exposure. If you don't see our posts, click like at facebook.freetalklive.com and then hover over it to click Get Notifications. It's an easy way to spread the ideas of liberty a bit further. I know you're busy, but you can spare that tenth of a calorie it takes to click on something. facebook.freetalklive.com.
This is William Chambers. Now a retired insurance salesman, Chambers is just one of over 95% of grandfathers who, according to a new report from the Center of Business Intelligence, secured their first and only job by walking right up to the owner of a business and asking for a position right then and there.
I slammed my fist on the desk and said, "I'm your man." He stood right up. He shook my hand and he said, "You come in first thing Monday morning."
According to the report, nearly 36% of grandfathers claim that they found employment by entering a local business with nothing but a nickel in their pockets and a shirt on their backs. 24% saw a fine-looking marquee for a business and said, "Someday my name's going to be on that sign." And 40% of grandfathers said they snuck into the CEO's office and said, "Mr. McKinley, sir, I'm your guy."
It just took gumption. You didn't need some fancy internship. Looking the boss dead in the eye and showing him you were a man. That was your internship.
This is the Onion News Network. Love what we do? Please help support our international satellite channels at patreon.lrn.fm. That's patreon.lrn.fm.
You are listening to the Crypto Hour on the Call to Freedom.
تستمتعون إلى The Crypto Hour على برنامج نداء للحرية.
Hey, everybody. My name is Carlos Matos, and I am coming from New York City, New York. Let me tell you guys that I am so excited. I am so happy. I am really so thrilled to be right now sharing this amazing, glorious, super, and exciting moment of my life with all of you guys. And let me tell you that we are really changing the world as we know it. The world is not anymore the way it used to be. No.
Welcome back here to the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. So we've been discussing the token pay is very regulator friendly. I don't like it. That's not crypto, man. Like bragging about how friendly you are with government goons and how much you want to get in bed with them. Especially if you're a privacy coin, like they do realize what privacy coin means, right?
They do realize who you're trying to keep things
They realize
private
to the
from.
extent that they can exploit it.
I mean, there are people who think privacy just means the only people who can see it are you and the government. It's a secret
yeah,
that
but
you
that's
share.
not what Verge markets itself as. Verge markets itself as the only people who can see is you and the person that you're sending it to. And that is not regulation friendly. That is screw the government. Big difference. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, should we be surprised that a currency that, initially forged from Doge has unclear principles?
Yes, we should. The Doge is very clear about his thing,
Exactly. Doge is like, this is a joke.
Yeah, but it's clear about it being a joke.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I have more respect for some UETs, useless Ethereum tokens. The symbol is a middle finger. I mean, like, it's called a useless Ethereum token. Like, he's very straight up about the fact that it's a joke, and the fact that they're almost $1 a piece, or they were, was insanely shocking to him. I have a lot more respect for somebody who has a product that this is satire versus someone who releases a product that says...
Like Drumacoin?
Right, exactly. That says this is totally serious and it's a good investment, when the truth is, like, we'll sell you out to the government faster than you can say fed.gov.coin. So, anyway. Hello?
Yeah, I'm just not surprised by it. I mean, the Verge developers were always kind of jerks. There was always a lot of cult-like behavior in and around Verge, to the point where you can't criticize it without, being a pariah. And, they can say that they want privacy and all of these other things all they want, but it's Dogecoin that's been tweaked a little bit, so I don't know how seriously it should have been taken in the first place, except, as a threat now.
I don't know what TokenPay is doing, because it's really not Verge who's saying these things. This is the CEO of TokenPay, so it could be that Verge is like, but this was the 17th, and there's not been any public statement from the Verge development team that's like, no, we do not want to figure out a way to get the government to regulate what we're doing, because that would totally nullify the whole point of, privacy. I mean, that is your market, guys. You're marketing to people who don't like the state. And if you climb in bed with them, guess what? They will sell your coin quick. I'll dump.
If I could figure out how, I would gladly sell mine.
Cryptopia.
Cryptopia exchanges it?
Yeah, and so does Yobits. Not Ubits, Yobits.
Awesome.
Ubits is the one that got hacked, and now, like, they're back, but I still ain't giving them my money. Now, before we move on, because the break is coming up in just a couple minutes, I wanted to cover this because it's pretty quick. Everybody knows about the Mt. Gox hack, right? Everybody knows about that. Well, about 16,000 Bitcoins, $141 million. They were moved on Thursday. According to CryptoGround, which monitors Mt. Gox remaining wallets, the Bitcoins were removed to 4 separate addresses in increments of approximately 2,000, with 0 Bitcoin remaining in each wallet that funds were extracted from. The wallets are under control of the exchange's... Oh, never mind. This isn't hacked money. This is the exchange's bankruptcy trustee, Nobuaki Kobayashi, a Tokyo lawyer who also revealed in March that he sold about $400 million of Mt. Gox's Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash in September of 2017. At present, the Gox addresses still hold roughly 146,106 Bitcoin, according to blockchain data. Additional network data indicates that trustee holdings of Bitcoin Cash are on the move, with 16,000 Bitcoin Cash being sent over the course of 4 transactions. Kobayashi is tasked with liquidating the tokens on behalf of Mt. Gox creditors, most of whom have not recovered their funds after the exchange closed and all of its trading operations in 2014. Yet the process hasn't been without controversy, given that the value of the bitcoins held by Mt. Gox exceeds the amount claimed by the exchange's creditors. Founded in 2010, the exchange boasted around 80% of global trading volume at its height. Since Mt. Gox's closure, the exchange and its founder, Mark Karpels, have been embroiled in legal battles, including class action lawsuits and embezzlement charges. As has been previously reported, past sell-offs from the wallets have coincided with steep declines across the cryptocurrency market. Noticeably, a transfer of funds on February 5th was concurrent with a 50% decline in market value from January's all-time market capitalization high of $830 billion. So even years later, the Mt. Gox incident is still having major negative effects on the cryptocurrency markets worldwide. That's a pretty big effect, I would have to say. Major player. You're able to literally crash the cryptocurrency markets once while being in business, and then again as they sell off all of your assets after you're out of business. All right, well, when we get back, turns out the 17 millionth Bitcoin is about to be mined. We're going to discuss why that's so important when we get back here on the Call to Freedom on LRN.FM.
Since time began, tyrants have taken aim at personal liberties. Now there's a movie that aims back.
The government has no more right to tell us what to put in our bodies than they have to take our guns or tell us what books we can read.
6 drug police were eaten by bears while raiding a marijuana farm.
On your knees, you dirty hippies! Jesus. On your knees! What's the problem, officer?
Today, many cops who enforce pot laws do so only because it provides them with cushy jobs, good benefits, and a chance to push people around.
I was an undercover narcotics officer. The drug war is nothing but a farce.
The Second Amendment says you gotta keep you and your gat intact.
Guns and Weed, The Road to Freedom. A film by Michael W. Dean and Nima Vadadi.
DVD available now at gunsandweed.com or on Amazon. That's gunsandweed.com. Makes the perfect gift. Remember, that's gunsandweed.com.
When you hear the word lobbyist, you probably think about greedy corporations, but not all lobbyists are the same. Some are fighting for the freedoms you hold dear. Liberty Lobby LLC is doing just that in New Hampshire, working hard to represent you, not some special interest group. You can help by going to libertylobby.info, where your contribution will give us the tools we need to ensure that your voice is heard. Visit libertylobby.info today to find out more.
Hey guys, Mark Claire here, lionsofliberty.com, where we strive to advance the ideas of liberty daily. We bring you The Morning Roar. That's right, every Monday to Friday we'll have a brand new edition of The Morning Roar, where we provide a roundup of some news stories that you may not find in the mainstream media or even in your typical social media newsfeed. We find stories that relate to the ideas of liberty and provide you with our liberty perspective on them. Every Monday, we have our longest-running feature, Mondays with Murray, named after the great libertarian Murray Rothbard, where we'll examine an article or an excerpt from his works and help convey his view, along with our little spin as well. We wrap it all up every Friday with Felony Friday, where our own John Odermatt goes out and takes a look at some sort of felony. There's felonies committed every day, you know, whether it's a felony committed by the police, a politician, or even an average citizen. You can find all of this and so much more over at lionsofliberty.com, advancing the ideas of liberty daily.
Now that you've found the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM, you may want to help expose others to our great programs. To assist you in doing so, you'll find resources at promote.lrn.fm, including details on how to get a free bumper sticker, quarter-page flyers you can print out and distribute, banners for your website, as well as files that will allow you to make your own custom banners and graphics. Visit promote.lrn.fm and help bring new listeners to the Liberty Radio Network. That's promote.lrn.fm.
Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it, and once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world, so I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here, and I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit ShireSociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, add yourself to the Shire map at ShireSociety.com. That's ShireSociety.com.
This is the Liberty Radio Network, broadcasting the latest liberty-oriented audio content 24 hours a day at LRN.FM.
You are listening to Call to Freedom's Crypto Hour, brought to you by Helium.com. आप सुन रहे हैं स्वतंत्रता की पुकार के क्रिप्टो आवर को, जिसके प्रस्तुत करता है Helium.com.
Live from the Verticoin studio. This is the Call to Freedom. It's the Crypto Hour, brought to you by Helium. 47 here on LRN.FM. When you kill the faucet, be colorified to get some free coins. This is the Call to Freedom.
That's right. It's the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. So, what a day, man. We've got a big thing coming up in the crypto community. The 17 millionth Bitcoin. So, yeah. Bitcoin's limited...
Why is that significant?
Well, Bitcoin's limited supply is about to get a bit more limited. You see, barring an unforeseen event, the 17th million Bitcoin is likely to be mined in the coming day, data from blockchain.info shows, and that's a development that would mark yet another milestone for the world's first cryptocurrency. That's because, as Bitcoin's current rules, only 21 million Bitcoins can ever be created. Stepping back, the milestone, the first million Bitcoin marker to be crossed since mid-2016, is perhaps noteworthy as yet another reminder of the technology's core computer science achievement, digital scarcity created and enabled by shared software.
It's a bunch of crap, man. You know, the federal government has a debt ceiling too, you know. And it's exactly the same concept. I don't believe for a minute that once Bitcoin really starts to reach this cap that they're not just going to increase it. I mean, yeah, it will take a hard fork in order to do, but they're not just going, oh, time to stop making money. It's not going to happen.
Well, let's see here. Of note, it can't be precisely predicted when the 17th millionth Bitcoin will be mined or who will mine it due to the many minute variances that are created in keeping a common software in sync. That said, there's a relative predictability. Each Bitcoin block produces 12.5 new coins, and as Bitcoin blocks occur roughly every 10 minutes, about 1,800 new coins are created each day. As such, it's perhaps best to view the event as a psychological barrier. Tetra Capital founding partner Alex Sunderborg told CoinDesk that one that's interpreted differently by different communities. Sunderborg, for example, sought to stress that another way to interpret the result is that 80% of all Bitcoin that will ever be created have now been mined. In other words, only about 1/5 of the eventual supply remains for miners and future buyers. Others see the milestone as one that's ripe for appreciation of the technology and its achievements. I think it's awesome, Tim Draper, the venture capitalist who bought millions of dollars worth of Bitcoin seized by the U.S. government at auction in 2014, said of the coming milestone, I would bet the founders wouldn't have imagined how important Bitcoin would become, not in their wildest dreams. Others sought to suggest that the milestone is one that should be considered as an opportunity for education about both the features of Bitcoin and those of cryptocurrency more broadly. For example, unless all of the humans who operate the computers running the Bitcoin software decide to make a change, a perhaps unlikely scenario today, there's really no way to ever introduce more new Bitcoin. This achievement, a technical reality, has played a key role in Bitcoin's association with money, economics, and other scarce, naturally occurring assets. So basically, you've got some people in one camp that think that this is going to be this awesome thing. It's going to be like the halvening, you know, like people are going to realize that 80% of all the Bitcoin has been bought or mined, and suddenly the prices are just going to go bananas. Hello.
BANANAS, you
Right.
say.
Well, I think that's possible. People might be excited over it. People might panic over it. But I think the overwhelming sentiment will simply be among the masses who already feel like they missed the boat, that they have fully missed the boat. I think this will drive down interest in Bitcoin, not increase it.
There are only 4 million Bitcoin left to mine. The network will not reach its final supply in anything like the 9 years it's taken to get this far. As the halvenings haven, the rate of monetary inflation, supply growth, slows. Now, here's my question. How is profitability in mining maintained?
When there's nothing left to mine, you mean?
Yeah.
It could be like natural resources. I mean, the big gold rushes globally are all over, but it's not like gold has gone down.
Well, yeah, but you still need the processing power to process the transactions, which still means to process enough transactions to do what would happen. It would cost these people thousands of dollars in electricity, and then they would.
I mean, it would, but that's why there are transaction fees in addition to the mined block. I mean, yeah, when miners mine a block, they do get that cryptocurrency that they mine. But in addition to that, they also get the miner fee.
Well, yeah,
the transaction fee. So they'll just simply get the transaction fee, and they won't get these.
So what you're going to say?
Yeah, but they won't get these bonus blocks on top of it.
So transaction fees, once the last Bitcoin is mined, what you think is transaction fees will go back to being astronomical?
I think that would be the only way to get miners to continue to do it.
Well, yeah, because I mean, if it costs $3,000 per Bitcoin or $5,000 per Bitcoin in electricity, people aren't going to keep doing that if it's not a profitable venture anymore. I mean, plain and simple.
Right, which encourages people to hold it rather than spend it because they don't want to pay those astronomical transaction fees, which, again, breaks its utility as a currency.
Well, crypto world out there, you got solutions to this problem. You can give us a call at 603-283-6160. That's 603-283-6160. Maybe we got some brilliant programmer out there in the audience that knows, well, how are we going to fix this? So we got 4 million Bitcoin left to mine. Once they're all mined, are Bitcoin transaction fees going to go back up to the moon in order to pay for the $5,000, $4,000 a month in electricity costs in order to compute the transactions? Or will people simply convert over to another currency and Bitcoin be found on the dust heap of history? Tom, Aria, your thoughts?
Well, it's not expected to really get to that degree until like the year 2040 or somewhere around there. So it's a problem. I mean, it's a problem that people know exists and that they have time to resolve. But whether or not it actually can be resolved, or if they really just, built a gallows that they're steadily marching toward, remains to be seen.
None of us are going to see that day anyway. It's 120. The way that the programming is written, it'll take 120 years to get to that last mined coin to start with. But so none of us will even see it. But the question is, what happens when it does happen? Is this an economic crash 120 years in the making that the world is just staring?
Well, how does
down
it
the
affect
barrel
the value of gold, that there is a finite amount of gold in the universe, and that eventually we could very well mine all of it out of the Earth, out of all of the other planets and moons and comets?
It doesn't cost me $7,000 in electricity a month to pay you with gold coins. That's the difference.
Very true.
For me to give you a coin doesn't cost me someone else thousands of dollars every single month. We'll be right back here on the Call to Freedom on LRN.
Hi, this is Mark Edge of Free Talk Live. Michael W. Dean's book, User's Manual for the Human Experience, changed my life. In a culture that attempts to turn you into a compliant victim, this book gives you implementable steps on everything from how to be aware of your environment, walking down the street, to business, to how to handle a toxic person in your life. If you're a human, you need to read this book at least once. Go to Amazon and get the Kindle version, or paperback, or an audiobook of A User's Manual for the Human Experience.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market.
Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing, to be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. It's physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project Early Movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com.
LRN.FM is proud to announce our official listening apps for Android and iOS devices. Now you can easily tune into our streams anywhere, anytime on your smartphone or tablet. Just visit apps.lrn.fm or search for LRN.FM in the Android or Apple app stores. Please download, rate us 5 stars, then share the link on your social media and let your friends and family know how you're listening to LRN.FM. Download it now, free at apps.lrn.fm.
Did you know that Free Aid is a mutual aid, educational, and networking organization? At Free Aid, we support volunteers who provide first aid. We do outreach to the public about health and safety, and we bring together medically skilled freedom lovers. Free Aid is made possible by your generous support. Donors can receive great gifts like first aid kits, t-shirts, silver dime cards, and hoodies. The Free Aid Silver Dime Card Project is sponsored in part by Roberts & Roberts Brokerage, Freedom's Phoenix, and Don't Tread on Meme. Visit fr33aid.com.
There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
Because we are smothering in spam, please do not reply to all when you can instead reply. I was recently among over 100 invited to a corporate reunion. It's always a warm affair, and that's the problem. Enthusiasm for our upcoming get-together caused many recipients to RSVP the organizer with a cheery reply to all. I can't wait. Then others piled on with a reply to all to that. Then the "I'm out of my office now" autoresponders joined in. So I replied to all, asking that we all reply only to the organizer. Hey, at least I tried. One invitee, apparently retired, shot back, "Point taken, but I really like seeing the responses since they're so positive." Smiley face. This better be an open bar. From survivalspeech.com, I'm Holland Cook.
You can sign up to receive the latest about the Liberty Radio Network via our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. That's updates.lrn.fm.
You are listening to the Crypto Hour on the Call to Freedom, brought to you by Helium.com. Unasikiliza Crypto Hour inayohusu wito wa uhuru, imeletwa kwako na Helium.com.
Apollo 69.
All right. Welcome back here to the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. And we're broadcasting live from the VertCoin studio right here in beautiful Keene, New Hampshire. And you know what? We just had a bunch of folks show up here a moment ago, and then they just all took off, and they're going, about 45 minutes from here, Daryl? Is that how far Allstead is? 30, 45 minutes-ish? 20. Okay, so about 20 minutes from here, and they're going to have some barbecue. And while they're there, they're going to hang out with a bunch of other liberty lovers within, 30 or 40 minutes of here, and they're not going to have to pay in cash if they don't want. They're going to be able to pay in Bitcoin or Dash, and they're going to get an opportunity to use the wonderful AnyPay system, which was also developed right here in New Hampshire. There's just so much going on here. If you're interested in the cryptocurrency community, there are events, there are meetups, there are businesses, there are developers. There's people like Bruce Fenton here. You've got Steven Zeiler. You've got all these people from the cryptocurrency development industry, and they all live like right around here. You can come here and visit them at their wonderful little shops and businesses, but you got to come up here to do that. And there's a really good time for that coming up shortly. You can join liberty-minded voluntarists, anarchists, activists, and libertarians this summer from June the 14th through the 18th at ForkFest 2018 at Rogers Campground in the beautiful White Mountains of New Hampshire. Now, ForkFest is a fork of other camping parties in the woods, and you're invited to come and create whatever experience you'd like to see others have. You see, ForkFest is completely decentralized. That means nobody's in charge, so everyone's in charge. It's up to you to create what happens. Or, you know what? Just grab a cooler, a tent, a lawn chair, kick back, relax, hang out, have a good time with some great liberty-loving folks in the woods. If you want to learn more, you can run over to forkfest.party, and you can join a Telegram chat, or you can also go on the forum. Again, that's forkfest.party. Come out and see us this summer. We're going to have a really good time. Again, that's June 14th through the 18th. Don't forget to not buy your tickets. So we're talking about the 17 millionth Bitcoin. And I know that sounds kind of alarmist, but, it's 120 years until the last Bitcoin will be mined. So none of us will actually be around to see that moment happen. But I would love to see a day where we don't talk about Bitcoins anymore. People talk about their Satoshis. Where people are like, I have 12 million Satoshis, and that means you're rich. Where Satoshis are talked about the same as dollars. So Tom Cruise got paid 11,000 Satoshis to do Mission Impossible 27, Grandpa's Revenge.
So you're certain we're all going to be dead in 120 years, but you're thinking Tom Cruise is still going to be around?
Well, no, I'm hoping that
Secrets of
happens.
Scientology, man.
I'm hoping that happens before any of us
Feedings
die.
and crap.
I'm hoping it happens before we get to the last Bitcoin.
You're hoping we die before we get to the last Bitcoin, or before that movie is made?
No, I'm hoping
because I could go either way.
I'm hoping that we get to the point that we count Satoshis as the way that we do dollars happens before we die. Because then, well,
I would rather it not be Bitcoins, but I totally get the sentiment.
Yes.
And agree. I don't know what currency I actually would prefer if not Vertcoin.
Well, you've got
or our new sponsor, Zencash.
The idea is that miners will be compensated purely through fees, which they already collect, though some scientists have sought to project whether such markets would work in actual practice. See, I'm right. People don't think this is actually going to work.
Well, it's obviously not. They're expecting, entire Bitcoins as rewards for completing blocks.
Yep, Bitcoin is completely...
And we're talking, here's a Satoshi or two.
Right. Well, this here, while Miles Carlston, Harry Kalodner, and Matt Weinberg, I have a new paper titled The Instability of Bitcoin Without Block Reward, which Harry will present at ACM's CCS next week. The paper predicts that miner incentives will start to go haywire as Bitcoin rewards shift from block rewards to transaction fees. Based on theoretical results that closely match up with findings from our new Bitcoin mining simulator. Bitcoin provides two incentives for miners: block rewards and transaction fees. Currently, the vast majority of miner revenues come from block rewards, but in the long haul, they'll have to come primarily from transaction fees as block rewards dwindle.
And meanwhile, it gets more and more expensive to mine.
Yes, exactly.
I think we can highlight the problem here.
Mining expense. The only place that it's feasible to mine Bitcoin and be good, really good and profitable is China, where the government pays. I mean, that's what we're looking at. If you want to mine Bitcoin, you'll have to be on some kind of a subsidy.
Oh, don't
Universal
say that.
basic income. It's going to save crypto, isn't it?
There's been
no, but I think the prospect of crypto subsidies, but I mean, they would get the subsidy in the crypto, right?
Well, this here is saying...
Oh my God, that creates a warp in my brain trying to process that. Because if cryptos were to that degree of mainstream, then they would be subsidized in the crypto that they're mining. Or
well, no, electricity in general would just need to be subsidized for it to be profitable, like it is in China or Egypt.
Right, but that would be paid with the crypto.
It would be paid by the government.
Yeah, or just straight up provide.
So the government is going to subsidize them to mine a currency.
No.
What
I'm saying is the only way for it to be profitable is for the government to subsidize electricity. It doesn't matter what you're doing with it. Just government will have to subsidize everyone's electricity.
Well, I agree, but they would partition that subsidy out in a currency. And that currency would, if crypto was to the point where the governments were subsidizing it, that cryptocurrency would be the currency in which they were given that subsidy.
The new EBT wallet brought to you by Ripple.
Well, they use game theory and a new mining simulator that were created, and it gives them added confidence in their findings. In one setting, the theory predicts a rather grotesque equilibrium involving the Lambert W function, with the proof running to several pages. Sure enough, in our simulations of the same setting, the Lambert miner does best. We hope that our analytical techniques as well as our simulator will be useful to other researchers. Basically, what they're saying here is that we kind of just take it for granted that it's just going to happen. That even though the incentive structure is changed, that we just kind of, they'll do it. As the writer here puts it, there's an implicit belief that the transition to transaction fees will not affect the security or stability of the blockchain, and in particular, that it is immaterial whether miners receive, say, 25 bitcoins as a fixed reward or 25 bitcoins in expectation via transaction fees.
Oh, boy, I don't think miners are going to feel that way, because expectation is what you call the bird in the bush, whereas the mining reward was the birds in the hand, you know?
That's right. So I don't think miners are going to do it. I think that, it's 120 years down the road, but this is a problem that people in the cryptocurrency industry need to be working on finding a solution to today, so that we don't end up with, our grandkids in the midst of an economic collapse because something that we see will be a problem then wasn't taken care of now. That's the end of Crypto Hour for today. We'll be back in just a moment.
Join Daryl W. Perry on Peace, Love, Liberty Radio as he brings you news, views, and opinions while promoting the ideas of peaceful interaction.
My personal position on the death penalty is this. We know for a fact that there have been hundreds of people who have been wrongly convicted for various offenses. People who were wrongly convicted of murder and who were sentenced to death, who have later been exonerated. And from that, we can deduce that there have been innocent people who were executed for crimes they did not commit. And the fact that I do consider myself to be consistently pro-life, I don't support using taxpayer funds to kill any human at all, anywhere. Using any money that is taken by force and then used to murder people is wrong.
Peace, Love, Liberty Radio, online at fppradio.com.
LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
Radio is the most personal of mediums. I exist right now in your head. If you listen to Free Talk Live regularly, you know me. Free Talk Live is on more than 160 radio stations around the U.S. and has been downloaded on every continent around the world. Hundreds of thousands of listeners with ad packages from $600 a month to $6,000 a month. Imagine what we can do for your business, project, website, or idea. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
More of the Call to Freedom is coming up next, live after the news on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Wednesday, April 25th, 2018. Silver is trading at $16.54 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,320 per ounce. Zencash is trading at $35, and the average price of Bitcoin is $9,111. Antiwar.com reports South Korea has turned off its propaganda loudspeakers as a gesture of goodwill ahead of Friday's summit with North Korea's Kim Jong-un. This is the first time in over 2 years that South Korea has shut off the loudspeakers aimed at North Korea. South Korea's giant wall of speakers broadcast news reports boasting of their prosperity, aiming it at both North Korean border troops and villages near the border. They occasionally play music or radio dramas, though the main point is to demoralize the other side. A spokesman told reporters the move was intended to ease military tensions ahead of Friday's summit and also to set a new tone. South Korean officials would not say if the loudspeakers would remain off after the summit. The expectation, though, was that the summit will include more discussions of a peace treaty, formally ending the Korean War, which is still officially ongoing since 1950. If a peace deal happens, there would clearly be no need to broadcast such messages across the border any longer. North Korea has its own loudspeakers on the other side of the border, mostly broadcasting criticism of South South Korea. North Korea has not commented on what will happen with their loudspeakers. Indeed, given how much North Korea has toned down all other rhetoric, it is unclear at this point what those speakers have even been broadcasting. For over 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals. Gold, silver, platinum, and palladium. They don't feed the banks. They're Bitcoin preferred and have removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts Brokerage today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co. UPI reports the U.S. Supreme Court ruled Tuesday that foreign corporations cannot be sued in U.S. courts for violation of international law. The 5-4 ruling is a loss for about 6,000 foreign victims of terrorist attacks in Israel and Gaza who accused Jordan-based Arab Bank of using its New York branch to distribute millions of dollars to terrorists and their families. While many victims had wanted to sue the bank in U.S. court, the Supreme Court on Tuesday disagreed with the legality of the prospect. Justice Anthony Kennedy wrote in the court's lead opinion, "Courts are not well suited to make the required policy judgments that are implicated by corporate liability in cases like this one." Justice Sonia Sotomayor, writing for the dissenting group, argued that the ruling let companies benefit from their corporate status without having to shoulder fundamental responsibilities. Zencash is the world's first private, distributed, and reliable platform for communications, transactions, and publishing. Zencash has the ability to use both transparent and shielded transactions, with shielded transactions using zero-knowledge proofs. Zencash features global governance with inclusive decision-making, reliable funding for continuous improvements, and documentation and wallets in many languages that are available for Linux, Mac, Windows, and Android devices. Learn more at zensystem.io. That's zensystem.io. Reuters reports monkeys lack standing to sue for copyright protection, and an animal rights group cannot act as legal guardians in such a matter, according to a U.S. appeals court ruling on Monday in a battle over ownership of a smiling selfie taken by an endangered macaw. The dispute stemmed from a famous image that Naruto, a rare crested macaw who lives in a nature reserve, snapped using a camera that British photographer David Slater left mounted and unattended during a 2011 trip. His grinning visage, which Slater published in a wildlife book, went viral and triggered the long-running legal battle over who had the copyright. The judges of the U.S. Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals based in San Francisco said the panel held that the monkey lacks statutory standing because the Copyright Act does not expressly authorize animals to file copyright infringement suits. The court's opinion added that PETA was not a next friend of the monkey in a legal sense and failed to establish that it had a significant relationship with him. Jeff Kerr, general counsel for PETA, said in a statement, denying Naruto the right to sue under U.S. Copyright Act emphasizes that he is discriminated against simply because he's a non-human animal. PETA had argued that the monkey was the legal owner of all the photos he took, but a federal judge in San Francisco ruled in January 2016 that copyright laws do not apply to animals. Slater announced that he would donate 25% of future revenues from the photograph to charitable groups that protect Naruto and other members of his species in Indonesia. The case was brought in a U.S. court because Slater's book was available for sale in the United States. This has been FPP Radio News. Online at fppradio.com.
This is the Onion Week in Review. According to friends, colleagues, and complete strangers, anxiety-ridden man Timothy Gibbula is rightly ashamed of every single thing he does, with mere acquaintances saying they're constantly judging Gibbula at every moment, just as he suspects.
Tim's the kind of guy who's forever second-guessing his behavior, as if everyone's constantly scrutinizing him, and he's completely correct. We all are.
We can spend entire afternoons picking apart Tim's taste in clothing and his receding hairline. It's honestly all we do when he's not around.
Anytime he awkwardly says excuse me when he's waiting in line for milk or sugar, anytime he fails to make eye contact with me when he asks me for the Wi-Fi password. Not only do I notice these things, but I use them to judge him fundamentally as a human being.
A 3-alarm fire that tore through a family home in Newark, Delaware early Saturday morning tragically claimed a half sleeve of Oreo cookies that were trapped inside a cupboard. At the time of the blaze, the residence was occupied by Mike and Sheila Donlan, their 3 young children, and 6 delicious chocolate sandwich cookies, all half-dozen of which perished in the intense heat and towering flames.
This is Angel Clark, and you're listening to The Call to Freedom on LRN.FM.
Pickle!
All right, welcome back here to the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. We're broadcasting live from the VertCoin studio right here in beautiful Keene, New Hampshire. And, well, it is time for the third and final hour of this, well, Thursday afternoon drive home broadcast. Now, we're moving into our political news and such. And today we've got a bit of a funny story. Funny because I can't believe that he's actually did it, not funny haha. Well, it might be funny haha after he loses, because he totally should not have lost this race. Michigan GOP is now in a bind after Muslim rant taints governor's race, experts say. State Senator Patrick Colbeck was warning supporters that Muslims are trying to exert their religious values onto American society. One day after the field was set for the Michigan governor's race, accusations of bigotry and identity politics have exploded to the surface. Videos emerged online this week showing GOP governor candidate Patrick Colbeck's anti-Muslim speech about Democrat Abdul El-Sayed. Colbeck, a state senator from Canton Township, repeated unsubstantiated claims that El-Sayed, a doctor running for governor, had ties to the controversial Muslim Brotherhood in Egypt. Colbeck's remarks, which also claimed Muslims have a jihad plot to infiltrate the American government, were posted online Tuesday in a series of videos first reported by BuzzFeed. And you know what's funny is, like, it doesn't matter what your actual political philosophy or what your views are. That's just that's the same exact accusation that was leveled against me when I ran for the vice presidential slot with the Libertarian Party. I actually had a guy at the convention who told, there was a friend of mine, and she was talking to him, and I came out, and she was like, "Oh, I know him. Let me introduce you." And he was like, "I don't want to talk to him. I don't like him. No, he's running because he wants to take over the government and institute Saudi law in America." You know, like...
Clearly,
well, I mean, in the
know how
sense
you
that,
feel about the Saudis.
in the sense that you're a Muslim and you were running for government, and we have Muslims in the country who have the right to self-representation, or who have the right to governmental representation, I suppose I would say, at least according to the Constitution.
There
I'm
you
not
go,
seeing
Arya,
even
saying
what the
radical
problem
things
is.
like Muslims have rights.
Right, exactly. Well, Colbeck...
Silly me, sorry, I forgot.
Right. By Wednesday morning, the statements were earning wide condemnation from El-Sayed, the state GOP, and the Michigan Democrat Party chairman, Brandon Dillon, who called Colbeck a pathetic, bigoted fool. That's a pretty good description. Colbeck is one of 4 Republicans campaigning for governor. Lieutenant Governor Brian Calley didn't comment, while Attorney General Bill Schwett and Dr. Jim Hines released statements that affirmed their support for the U.S. Constitution and civil discourse. Colbeck's comments echoed the anti-Mexican comments of now President Trump when he entered the presidential race in 2015. Pollster Richard Suba said Colbeck's speech is proof that flat-out crass bigotry has found a language with some in the Republican Party. Suba said Calley and Schwett face a dilemma. Condemning Colbeck, who's polling third, could alienate some Trump voters. Saying nothing leaves them vulnerable to criticism from Democrats and in the general election. The risks for Schwett and Calley is they get tainted by not challenging Colbeck's comments, and they get tainted if they do. El-Sayed, a 33-year-old Ivy League educated doctor, has spoken often about his faith since resigning as Detroit's health director last year to campaign for governor. Polling third among 3 Democrats, he's won glowing international press because he could become America's first Muslim governor. El-Sayed, though...
Yeah, you just caused so many people's heads to explode.
Right?
Those words, first Muslim anything,
He's
in a political office. They can't handle it.
I mean, I want to celebrate and be happy about it, but he's a straight up socialist Democrat who, like, his religious values don't influence his religious values do not influence his view on governance. His sociology professor does.
I was about to say that his opponent is over here worried about how his faith is going to influence his politics, and I'm more worried about how his Harvard education is going to influence his politics.
Exactly. That's where his influence is. It's not coming from the imam.
My best friend went to Harvard, by the way, and he would tell you that I'm exactly right.
Well, never mind. I have to take that. I have to take that back, because we now have imams that are straight up like they're courting these college Muslims. You know, the Muslims that come out of that, like they leave families and homes where they weren't raised in a very good Muslim upbringing to begin with, where going to the mosque was like they were raised like Christian families, you know, like you go to the mosque during Ramadan. Like,
hey, now wait. Oh, you've actually got a really good point there. Yeah. Go ahead.
So, and just like with those Christian families, they send their kids to these colleges because they want their kids to have success and to have good education and good jobs, and not, you know, be living hand to mouth their whole life. And what ends up happening is they come back with like a septum ring and a shaved head, and they're lesbian until graduation. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but they leave home like these like Anne of Avonlea, and they come back and they've had 4 abortions, and they're woke now, and it's all about privilege and I hate the white male patriarch, but I just every once in a while I find a big white willy in my mouth. You know, like they become that while they're gone. Wow. And that's literally from a video that I wish I could actually play it on the air, but it's so riddled with foul language.
I'm really glad you can't.
Well, it's in the show prep. It's the video of the Fresno State professor. There you go. She's the Fresno State professor, and that's who's influencing the politics of Muslims today. And anybody that goes to college today, basically, if you're not in the college Republicans, then you are straight up, by the time you graduate, spouting the nonsense that is coming out of these professors' mouths. If his faith was influencing,
or going into them,
right? If his faith was influencing his decision making in the political sphere, then he would be campaigning that Michigan not have a state income tax. That's what he would be doing. He would be campaigning on a platform of eliminating state income tax. But he's not. He is on a straight up socialist left-wing platform. So don't worry, right-wingers. His faith is in no way at all influencing his governance. As a matter of fact,
feel free to worry about how the Harvard thing influences his governance.
Exactly. As a matter of fact, I bet, and he won't come on the show. I can guarantee that. I bet if we could get him on the show with someone like Yasser Qadhi or Hamza Yusuf, you know, like a big name scholar, you would not be able to pin him down on whether or not he felt his viewpoint was Islamic. If the imam told him income taxes are haram, you should not be raising them, you should be campaigning against them, then he would straight up renounce his religion right here on national radio.
Oh my God, we got to get this guy on.
I bet he would. I know that he would. You know how I know that he would? Because I've seen other Muslims do it before. I've literally had Muslims tell me, when I said, look, man, here's video of Imam Yasser Qadhi on this radio show.
At that point, you're threatening the idea that they are gods and that they can solve the problems of the world.
All right. Well, anyway, I can't really get to that part. When we get back, we definitely will. And here in just a moment, here on the Call to Freedom on LRN.FM.
This Your Family Today tip is brought to you by Stouffer's, helping bring your family together with wholesome dinner options, even on the busiest of nights. Find dinner table ideas to bring your family together at letsfixdinner.com. To get kids involved in dinnertime conversation, ask specific questions, not broad ones. Instead of what happened today at school, try what was the best thing that happened today. The more specific you are, the more they'll have to say. For more tips like these, visit us at parenthood.com/yourfamilytoday.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
Did you know you can get news updates about what's happening with the Liberty Radio Network delivered in the way you prefer? You can sign up for our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. Plus, you can stay in the loop by joining our Facebook profile at facebook.lrn.fm or follow us at Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm. It's all free, so sign up now at updates.lrn.fm for news updates delivered to your email box, facebook.lrn.fm to follow our Facebook page, and twitter.lrn.fm to receive our tweets.
What do you shop for that you could otherwise buy at Amazon? Pretty much everything, right? Amazon has competitive pricing and they deliver, and that's a big plus. If you could plan ahead in your shopping, would you be interested in saving up to 33%? There's a catch. You have to do your shopping in Bitcoin. But imagine those savings. It's like a huge raise. All you have to do is go to saveitpurse.com. We've saved thousands, and you can too. Plan ahead and save. Saveitpurse.com.
Imagine someone in your community getting in their car, turning on the radio, and hearing the Liberty Radio Network. You can make that vision a reality with your own micro radio station. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how you can put our programs on the air in your area. You can have LRN.FM running around the clock, and you can even add in your own local shows. Building a radio station is simple, but programming isn't. That's where LRN.FM comes in. Learn more at broadcast.lrn.fm. That's broadcast.lrn.fm.
Hi, I'm Derek J. I don't want a politician to represent me. To me, government is the idea that one group of people can coerce everyone to comply with an edict or face increasing punishments up to and including death. Despite perhaps the most noble of intentions, the best government services are a far cry from what could be provided for by voluntary interactions. Besides, the people who call themselves the government wage wars and put peaceful people in jail for crimes involving no victims. If Starbucks used some of its money to drop bombs, I wouldn't shop there. So why would I support the American empire? The empire does not require my consent.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com. That's victimlesscrimespree.com.
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
You're listening to The Call to Freedom on LRN.FM.
تستمتعون إلى برنامج نداء للحرية مباشرة على LRN.FM.
Welcome back into the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. Broadcasting live from the Vertcoin studio right here in beautiful Keene, New Hampshire. And we've been talking about this story here. You've got an Ivy League trained doctor and the former City of Detroit health chief running as for the Democrat nomination for Michigan, for governor of Michigan. And then you got the Republican primary, and somebody in the Republican primary doing a little bit of right-wing virtue signaling, which is exactly what it is. You know, if you go out and you just like have bigot Tourette's in public, that's Trumpkin virtue signaling is what that is. It's the same thing as the whole white knighting crap that you see on the left, only it's you fools on the right doing it instead. It's all the same. It really is. But we've got here now. I say over and over again that it is not appropriate as an academically appropriate, theologically orthodox to support an income tax. It just isn't. And I've been told over and over again that I'm wrong. And so whenever we bring big name scholars on here, at least once while they're on the air with us, I asked Imam Zaid this question years ago. That's why when he was here the other day, I didn't ask him. It's because if you want to hear Imam Zaid answer the question, go look. I think it's episode number 4 of The Call to Freedom on YouTube, and you can hear him answer the question there. Here we have Dr. Yasser Qadhi, who is a world-renowned Islamic scholar. He was actually on the ISIS hit list for some of the statements he made publicly. And it's a video that I love having because I play it for lefties all the time. I'm going to play it for you. And after I get done playing it for you, I'm going to tell you what this governor's candidate's reaction would be to hearing this scholar.
It kind of irks me a little bit. And it's the use of the comparison of income taxes to the zakat in Islam. And I was wondering, is that from a fixed standpoint, is that a fair comparison to compare the zakat tax to the income tax? And is there anything like an income tax as it exists in Islam in America in classical Islamic jurisprudence?
So zakat is, of course, the necessary charity that Muslims are required to give. So every ethical and God-conscious Muslim gives a percentage of his money to the poor and to the orphans every single year. That's one of the pillars of Islam. It's called zakat. Zakat is actually not income tax. We don't tax our income. We tax our savings in the Islamic religion. So at the end of every Islamic year, because the Islamic year is different than the Christian year, it's a lunar year, it's around 355 days. At the end of every Islamic year, Muslims assess their savings that they have had for the entire year. And they then give a percentage of that for the poor. So there's some similarities, but there's some differences. And the income tax that we pay, of course, one of the most important differences is that we are required by our ethical law, by our religious law, to make sure that the money is delivered to genuinely bona fide, certified poor people. Our zakat cannot go to fund wars, God forbid. Our zakat cannot go to, we have to give our money to the widows and orphans and hungry people. So there are some similarities and differences, but it's not an income tax. It is a tax on savings. It's a charity on savings that is given to the poor.
Okay. Now, is there, from your perspective, and I've heard Sheikh Hamza Yusuf gave a lecture one time where he stated that there is no income tax, that the income tax itself is forbidden. But I know he follows, I believe, Maliki jurisprudence, and I'm not sure which.
Yes. The majority of scholars, actually almost all scholars of classical Islam said this, that the state does not have the right to take your money. Now, this is
So there you hear it, right? That last little bit particularly. The state does not have a right to take your money. And when presented, Linda Sarsour, pick a lefty, Hassan Shibli Zaman.
For a minute there, I thought you said Shipley, and I was like, I don't think it's going to be hard to get Mike Shipley to denounce Islam.
Shibli Zaman.
He's not one.
Shibli Zaman. Hassan Shibli. Linda Sarsour. Tariq El-Masidi. Pick a big name Muslim lefty and play that video for them One of them called me Donald Trump.
What?
I'll let you guess which one. Called me Donald Trump.
I don't think I have to guess.
Yeah.
It's Linda Sarsour.
Yeah.
That lunatic bitch.
Then there's my personal favorite. I played this video for a brother who was pushing Bernie Sanders. And I said, so what is your response to this? He said, well, then the majority of Islamic scholars throughout history are wrong. No qualification for the statement. I believe in Bernie Sanders. And if what Islam says is the opposite of what Bernie Sanders says, then it's wrong and needs to be changed. So rah for the and like that's what they're saying. Rah for the lefties, the Sarsours, the Ibrahim, the Isra Ibrahims, the people who are out there who are hijacking the religion and who are turning it into leftism. They are replacing the foundations of the maqasid and the qawaid al-fiqh and the most basic foundations of Islamic jurisprudence. And they're saying, you know what? We need to scrap these things because if we believe and value these things about ourselves and our religion, then the DNC won't like us. And the Republican Party already hates us. So we need to abandon our faith in order to get somebody to like us. Does that sound familiar to you, Tom?
Sort of. If you mean by abandon our faith without admitting that we're doing it, it sounds like the Franklin Graham playbook.
Right? Exactly. Well, but of course, so because of the fact that, you know, it's politics, it's added this whole new element to it, though. So, but I'd love to get this guy. It won't happen, but you know what? How's this, Aria? Try to get him on the show.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's
this guy's a Democrat, right?
He is.
Then I will just tell him that I am the trans co-host of a radio show.
Exactly.
I'd like to get him on.
Ooh.
We're trying. We're
back to you.
We're a
and then
lifestyle.
We'll go, ha, we're libertarians.
Exactly. We're a lifestyle and religiously diverse radio show who's looking for diversity of opinions.
So I gave a sermon that
This is great.
Free Press Publications is an independent, alternative media and publishing company founded in June 2009 with the mission of ensuring a free press for the freedom movement and is committed to spreading the message of peace, freedom, love, and liberty. FPP also gives new authors an avenue for publishing freedom-oriented material. FPP brings you daily news and commentary on the website fpp.cc, as well as a daily 5-minute newscast, FPP Radio News, and weekly news, views, and commentary in the FPP Freedom Minute and Peace, Love, Liberty Radio at fppradio.com, and the monthly newspaper FPP News at news.fpp.cc. Find FPP online at fpp.cc. That's fpp.cc, as in Creative Commons.
Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com.
On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your AMP will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you AMP Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com.
The three most important things you can do for LRN.FM are: 1. Let your friends know you're listening to LRN.FM on your social networking profile. 2. Buy the things you buy online through shop.lrn.fm. 3. Give $5 a month to the AMP program at amp.lrn.fm. It's my firm belief that the AMP program is the best use of your charitable dollar among liberty-oriented groups. Support all your favorite organizations, but make sure you give $5 a month to the AMP program at amp.lrn.fm.
The Free State Project has reached its goal of 20,000 liberty lovers who've pledged to move to New Hampshire and get active to achieve liberty in our lifetime. Perhaps you're trying to figure out what part of New Hampshire should be your destination. If so, consider Keene. You'll find more than 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com. Keene is famous for its historic, publicity-generating activism, as well as being the liberty media capital of the world. It's home to freekeene.com, New Hampshire's destination for liberty activism, news, and opinion. For years, we've been compiling over 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com, where you'll learn about some of what's happening here and what makes Keene a great place to live. If you love liberty, you'll probably enjoy anywhere you end up in the Shire. But do your due diligence first. Please visit move.freekeene.com for the full list of over 150 reasons to move to Keene. That's move.freekeene.com.
If you enjoy LRN.FM, please contribute to your favorite shows via their websites and become an amplifier at amp.lrn.fm. That's amp.lrn.fm.
You are listening to the Call to Freedom on LRN.FM. आप सुन रहे हैं स्वतंत्रता की पुकार सिर्फ और सिर्फ LRN.FM पे।
Disclaimer. When I die, I want to be put into orbit around Earth in a flying kick position. This is my dream. My dream. My dream. My dream. My dream. This is my dream.
All right. Welcome back to the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. We're broadcasting live from the Vertcoin studio right here in beautiful Keene, New Hampshire. And, well, I got some fake news for you here, guys. Or at least much ado about nothing. Headline from the Daily Caller. California lawmakers consider bill that would ban the Bible. But not really. California lawmakers proposed a bill to ban offering or practicing conversion therapy. Still a stupid thing to ban.
Right off the bat, it's like, oh, by the way, the headline's a lie.
Yeah.
Right off the bat.
The very first line. The bill would only apply to transactions and commercial practices and would not prevent pastors from preaching about one's sexual orientation or anyone else from selling books about it or discussing it. California Assemblyman and bill author Evan Lowe claimed, however, the bill's language is so broad that it could label the Bible as unlawful because its wording concerning homosexuality. Critics like Republican Assemblyman Matt Harper and advocacy group Liberty Counsel have warned. Let's see here. California's AB 2943 is a dangerous bill, and it will punish people for their biblical beliefs about marriage, gender, and human sexuality, Liberty Counsel founder and chairman Matt Staver said. This law is stunning in its breadth. The mask of those supporting this oppressive bill has been removed. Their goal is to crush Christianity and any viewpoint that does not align with the state. We stand ready to file suit to stop this assault on freedom if this bill is signed into law. The bill actually bans advertising, offering to engage in, or engaging in sexual orientation change efforts with an individual as a fraudulent business. You basically can't run a Pray Away the Gay company because it's BS.
And it's company being the emphasis here. This is, I'm looking at the bill right now. It's an amendment to their consumer protection law statute. Of all things. It's not even like we're prohibiting this from happening. It's if you were sold gay conversion therapy, report it to the Attorney General and we might file a consumer protection complaint on your behalf.
Yeah.
What? Come on, California. If you're going to get serious about it, get serious. And of course, you can't advertise. Yeah, it says this bill would include as an unlawful practice prohibited under the Consumer Legal Remedies Act, advertising, offering to engage in, or engaging in sexual orientation change efforts with an individual. This bill would also declare the intent of the legislature in this regard. Okay? Plus, it only applies to patients under 18, so you can still advertise this if there's someone over 18 who wants these services. And that's, yeah, come on.
The bill will prevent licensed professional counselors, therapists, and medical professionals from offering or engaging in efforts to change a patient's sexual orientation, even if the patient explicitly requests it, the document's proponents said. Such conversion efforts have actually helped many people who have willingly sought it, church leaders and conservative groups like California Family Council argued. For many people, it's worked. It's made them happy. They say it saved their lives. So why is the state banning something that people is saying is saving their lives? California
more importantly,
Family Council.
That's what the state does. Go ahead.
Pray the Gay Away is Scientology's main thing. I mean, there's significant evidence to believe that Tom Cruise is in fact gay. And that he is, undergoing Pray the Gay Away stuff through Scientology.
Out of Tom Cruise.
Arya, I think you just figured it out. It's not an anti-Christian bill. It's an anti-Scientology bill.
With your witchcraft, Tom Cruise.
Yeah, because Scientology is dominant in California. I don't know if it's the dominant religion there or not.
And it's always at odds with their state government. They're always passing anti-Scientology crap. So the Daily Caller has taken up the this is anti-Christian cross when really they ought to be sitting back and letting the government of California and the Scientologists waste their resources on each other while we Christians sit over here and, light one up if you're into that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Come on.
I think I would be ashamed if my religion was trying to advocate something that Scientology was notorious for. And I understand that Christianity as a whole is not in all of that, but I mean, these people seem to suggest that, Pray the Gay Away is uniquely Christian. So legislature is trying to forbid it, is targeting Christianity. Whereas I would be like, no, that's not us at all. That's those freaks over there who worship Xenu or whatever.
Right.
Have we ever talked on the show about the...
We're going to exorcise the demons.
Have we ever talked on the show about the somewhat significant body of evidence that Paul, the author of much of the New Testament, may himself have been a homosexual?
I have.
Paul, because he talks about it specifically. I'm not saying that he was accepting of it. Yeah, he says, yes, there is a passage, and it's widely read to be about sexual sin in general, where he says, I have this own thorn in my side that I've had to deal with as far as sexual sin that not everyone has to deal with. And if you are like me, then you should abstain because God says the kind of... He doesn't go into a ton... It's all kind of Greekish, metaphorical-ish, but there is something that he struggles with as far as... the demons! Thanks for crapping all over I'm trying to trigger the people in Texas, but also discuss something that's very serious within my own religion, is that pray the gay away is not how Christians are supposed to deal with if you have homosexual urges, even though we do think it's a sin. It's
I mean, it doesn't work. I
No,
wrote
it
Dancing
doesn't.
in Hellfire largely about it. It doesn't work, and it creates resentment and hostility.
Exactly. And it's like, instead you're supposed to deal with it like any other sin. You're supposed to give the negative thoughts over to God and work on strengthening your relationship with Him so that you're not tempted by the things that tempt you towards sin. But it's the same as anybody else, because everybody has a pet sin that draws them away from doing what Christ wants you to do. But yeah, there is evidence, and I understand it this way when I read the Bible, that Paul struggled with a particular sexual sin that may very well have been homosexuality. We know he was never married. We know from non-biblical sources that he was ostracized for having kind of a high-pitched voice and being a little bit effeminate. He was ostracized specifically by Peter, who was a big, tall, strapping,
masculine,
masculine man. So, yeah, pray the gay away, not Christian, but pray to God, very Christian. Scientology, not Christian. Letting California and Scientology fight it out, should be Christian. Just saying.
All right, well, we'll be back here in just a moment with a little bit more of today's news. Last segment means it's cannabis news. We'll be back with cannabis news in just a moment.
Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless free market non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you are helping the state. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at bitcoin.com. That's bitcoin.com. This is Michael Dean from the Freedom Fiends. I've run websites since 1996 and have used over a dozen web hosts in that time. AgristHosting.com is the only one that hasn't broken my heart. Agrist Hosting's uptime and service is stellar, and their DDoS mitigation is the best I've seen. That's important because if you tell the truth in this world, you'll ruffle feathers. And some people will try dirty tricks to silence your voice. No matter what the haters hit us with, Agrist Hosting keeps our websites online. If you have a mission-critical commercial presence or a world-changing activism site, you cannot tolerate any skullduggery. So go with agristhosting.com. Have a WordPress or blog site, but you're not satisfied with performance or uptime? Or just want raw hosting? Want to pay with Bitcoin? Agrist Hosting specializes in high-performance hosting with personalized service. Go to agristhosting.com and click on the button that says Get Hosted. That's agristhosting.com.
Did you know we've taken our LRN.FM telephone listen line to a new level with the LRN.FM audio on demand line? Now you can call 712-770-8447 anytime and listen to LRN.FM's live feed. And you can listen to a bunch of our original shows on demand. Long distance fees may apply. Just dial 712-770-8447 and choose from the menu. 712-770-8447.
In Survivor Max 2, School Bites, Max must scavenge through a wasteland swarming with the undead. Desperate to find the medicine he needs, he discovers a community of survivors at his former school. Has he finally found the safe haven he's been looking for, or will he discover that school bites? Look for Survivor Max on Facebook, read reviews on Amazon, and read Chapter 1 at survivormax.com.
Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get one free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm. Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
Join the LRN.FM Discord for live chat 24/7 at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
You are listening to the Call to Freedom on LRN.fm. Unasikiliza wito wa uhuru katika LRN.fm.
Let's focus our discussion first on marijuana, okay? Marijuana has a very distinct smell, okay? I'm going to pass around just a little tiny bit, and I want you all to take a smell so you know when someone is smoking marijuana near you.
All right, welcome back into the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. Now, you know what, guys? These days, it is nearly impossible to keep your communication secured from the prying eyes of the state. And you know what? The toolbox that they've got is just growing day by day. They can subpoena information if companies have it, and they can shut down servers altogether and prevent you from communicating. That's why CryptVisor is so awesome. You see, it's a decentralized communication platform that's hosted on the blockchain. And see, they don't keep any of your personal information. No phone numbers, no names, no email addresses, no IP address, none of that stuff. So if the feds want it, they don't even have it. And they don't have a centralized server. It's on the blockchain. So that means thousands of nodes all over the earth. So unless they can shut down the internet completely, well, your communication should be uninterrupted. Go over right now to cryptvisor.network. Check them out. Check out their brand new security features and the CV Pay crypto wallet. Again, that's cryptvisor.network, your home for advanced and secured communication. So it's the final segment of the show. So that means we're going to be doing a little bit of cannabis news. And, well, this is coming out from Washington State researchers. Just one puff of this type of cannabis could ease depression, stress, and anxiety. After 2 puffs, patients felt less anxious. After 10 puffs, they were less stressed. Big surprise there.
Right. In other news,
right,
you need oxygen to live.
And water is wet. Washington State researchers, I love the fact that we're like spending millions of dollars of tax money to research this because we have to, because the state is so retarded.
I mean, it kind of makes sense because, you know, some strains will make people paranoid.
Yes.
But at the same time, it's really, really dumb.
Washington State researchers assessed how varying levels of chemicals found in marijuana affected people's moods and feelings of well-being. The team found that just a single puff of cannabis high in CBD and low in THC was enough to reduce depression symptoms. After 2 puffs, patients felt less anxious, and after 10 puffs, they were less stressed. Lead author Carrie Cutler, assistant professor of psychology at Washington State, said existing research on the effects of cannabis on depression, anxiety, and stress are very rare and have almost been exclusively done with orally administered THC pills in a laboratory. What's unique about our study is that we looked at the actual inhaled cannabis by medical marijuana patients who were using it to comfort for comfort in their own homes as opposed to a laboratory.
Why, Will, are you saying those little lab manufactured THC tabs don't have the same effects as the natural stuff?
Not only am I saying that, but I have friends who have far worse conditions than I have. You know, like I have a buddy who's got transverse myelitis. And what that means basically is that he woke up one day and his body decided that he should kiss its ass. And that it said, screw you. And literally isn't from his head to his feet. You know, like he could wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and if he feels like his feet are literally on fire because the chemical, you know, it just didn't do anything. It just didn't. Parts of his body would tell his brain that things were happening to him that were causing pain that didn't actually exist.
Yeah, that's the myelin sheath is the stuff that wraps your nerves. So when you have a form of myelitis,
yes,
it plays haywire with your nerves, basically.
And
the way your
he
nerves
will
talk to your
tell
brain.
you that a 75 milligram tablet will do nothing for his pain, but to sit down and take 4 puffs off of Kosher Kush, specifically Kosher Kush, he can literally feel the pain relief as it courses through his body. So yeah, it's not just that in these studies, in the field, in the real world.
We have to outlaw this evil substance.
In the real world, the tablets don't work because you have dispensaries that sell them and they don't work. People don't buy them. I don't know why the dispensaries even sell them. Sell cookies.
I'll tell you right now why the dispensaries sell them. So that lawmakers who want to appear like they care about people's pain, but who still want to kowtow to people who are scared of a plant can say, well, we made the medical stuff legal, but we won't let you smoke that there pot.
Well, I think it's more like Burger King having salads. You know, it's just, it's there for that weird lunatic who...
So they can say they have them, basically.
It says here, a lot of consumers seem to be under a false impression that more THC is always better. Our study shows that CBD is also a very important ingredient in cannabis and may augment some of the positive effects of THC. I attest to this 100%. If I'm really, really hurting, and when I say really hurting, I mean like for me to cross my leg, for me to pick up my right leg and cross my leg over my knee, which is the only way for it to be comfortable because of the arthritis and the nerve damage in my hips. To do that motion is so physically painful, it literally brings tears to my eyes sometimes. And my wife will tell you that I'm the kind of guy that, and it's because she's seen me do this, I can have a torn meniscus and walk around the carnival for 2 more hours because my little girl wants to keep riding the rides. For me, pain, I literally just turn it off. And then, like, it hurts, but I've decided that it doesn't. And my dad was the same way. It was just, I have parents that are in their 80s, and it was something that I learned from them that like this generation doesn't seem to have it, I guess. But my wife is just amazed at my pain threshold. Like the things that I look at and I'm just like, like I brush it off like a mosquito bite. And she's like, what on earth is wrong? Like I have strep throat and I'm not complaining because to me, it's just like a sore throat, that kind of thing. And I will tell you now that something like Harlequin BX4, which is a super high CBD strain, it still has some THC, but it's super high in CBD, will knock the pain out to the where I can't feel it at all. From literally in tears to pain gone in a minute and a half. So I can attest personally that higher CBD levels in medical cannabis is a good thing. You don't need it to be all CBD because you need some THC and they kind of activate each other. It's a symbiotic relationship chemically. But heavy THC, CBD, if you're trying to kill pain or depression, that's the way to go. If you want to, oddly enough, if you want to fight fatigue, you want heavy THC. That's what makes you speedy up. Want to do like it's like 28% THC type stuff. Currently, medical and recreational cannabis users rely on the advice of bud tenders, whose recommendations are based off of anecdotal, not scientific evidence. This, to my knowledge, is one of the first scientific studies to provide guidance on the strains and quantities of cannabis that people should be seeking out for reducing depression. So specifically for reducing depression is what they're saying here. So if you're suffering from depression and you're smoking cannabis, what this is saying is that you need to avoid high THC level strains. You need to look more for something that has like about 14% THC with a higher CBD concentrate. What a great note to end on. Wouldn't you say, Tom?
It's always good to end on a pot note.
Right, on a pot note. Anyway, this is Will Coley with the Call to Freedom here on LRN, saying thank you from everybody here, and we will see you tomorrow, Friday. You know what that means. Crypto news, cannabis news, political news, and libertarian drama. Don't go anywhere, though, tonight, because Free Talk Live is coming up next.
Is your child defiant, independent, annoyingly inquisitive? After a long, hard day of following the rules, who wants to deal with troublesome kids? 49% of children suffer from oppositional defiant disorder, or ODD. Symptoms